He was a spot ahead of Trevor Lawrence. Then he threw 67 touchdowns and 9 interceptions in college and led his teams to the playoff both seasons that he started. Of course, you know who I'm talking about. He's Justin Fields. And it's understandable if all those things have slipped your mind based on what has happened since. In 2 NFL seasons leading absolutely terrible teams, he has won just 5 of his 25 starts, and he has fumbled, been sacked, or intercepted 140 times. That's the most of any player over those 2 years. It's been so unsightly that some people thought the Bears should have used the #1 pick this spring on a new quarterback. Well, let me tell you why they didn't. Because starting in Week 7 last season, while he was running for his life and throwing to a receiving core that can at best be called pedestrian, Fields had the 4th best QBR in the league, behind only Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and Josh Allen. Now he is set to follow Hurts and Allen again. Those two are the modern template for quarterback development. They're talented, in need of patience and coaching, and now look at them. Well, Fields is exactly the same. Frankly, he was a better prospect than either of those guys were. The final piece to the puzzle came this offseason with the Bears' acquisition of DJ Moore. They are hoping he can be to Fields what Stephon Diggs and A.J. Brown were to his predecessors. And I'm here to tell you, they got that absolutely right, all of it. The people of Chicago have been waiting all of their lives, like a century plus, for what they are finally about to have. Write it down. Justin Fields is going to be the next superstar quarterback in the NFL.
Wow. What a difference a week makes, huh? You got cow turd crapping all over him last week, and this week you have Greeny praising him. Yeah. I love that last sentence he said. Finally going to have a superstar quarterback. Granted, Greeny is kind of biased because he worked in Chicago. He started off in his career, I believe, in Chicago. I used to watch him when he was a youngster. Loved him when he was in Chicago. But we finally are hearing the narrative that this kid that we see with our own eyes is the real deal. They're starting to say it. Kind of scares me in a way, but in the other sense, I'm like elated to finally see it happen. What do you guys think?
I'm loving it, man. It's about time. I even put something on Twitter the other day. I said something to the effect of all they can come up with negatives, except for a few of these guys who will speak on the Bears to begin with, and they're gonna come on the Fields bandwagon soon if they're not getting on it now. Just even after the beginning of training camp. So we know what we got, man. We got the guy because he's got it. He's got it.
Yeah, I think Fields, the fact that Poles actually gave him some weapons is Fields going to be able to show what he's made of. And I'm excited for what he can do this year. I really am.
Yeah. So am I. And guys,
I was just going to say, I think the only thing I didn't like about what Greeny said was he had to bring my age into it, the 100 years thing.
Yeah.
100 years? What?
Hey, well, he was going nice. He doesn't know me like you know me, dude.
Oh, okay. All right. Man.
Guys, we have our first big name guest on tonight, Mr. Lester Wiltfong Jr. I've been a big fan of him for a long time, and come to find out, we have a closer connection than I even could have realized. And he's been at training camp. We want to hear what he has to say. We're going to have some guests that have been on chat before to come on and ask him their own questions themselves to get his response. So, Kitty, let's kick this shit off.
Bears country. Where is it?
You down with BCP?
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 vibe, just like you, Pete.
Guarantee you, Lester's gonna love my dance.
He probably leave the green room watching you dance there, bro.
Yeah. What I get myself into? Why is this guy dancing like this? He doesn't have no vibes.
Oh, guys, it's great to be with you guys again on this lovely Thursday evening. And without further ado, let's just get to it. I'm excited to talk to Lester, so let's bring him on the show. Mr. Wiltfong, thank you so much for joining us. How are you tonight?
Doing good, fellas. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Nice.
Thank you.
What do you think of my dance?
I liked it, man. That's some old school Round Lake Shuffle there, I think it was, right, Shorty? Yeah.
Yeah,
My good.
We are RL. We are RL.
Let me find out you guys dance like that for real. This could be a short show here.
I mean, I couldn't believe, just talking to my friends, after you had agreed to come on the show, that we went to the same high school. And just a year, just missed each other by a year.
Yeah.
Wow, that's insane. And I've been a fan of yours, reading your articles, watching your podcast. And then I find out you were playing in the Shoot the Bull with Tommy Noda.
Yeah. Noda. I don't know if you know Cliff Nurnberg. That's my other guy. He's around your age. So yeah, it was. I kind of started hanging out with those guys after high school. We did a lot of basketball, a lot of softball together, and we kind of lost touch through the years. But guys, man, guys are always friends for life. So that's how it always is. If I bump into Noda tomorrow or wherever, it's just we just pick up like we used to back in the day. So
you're gonna
it's cool.
Tonight.
I know. I heard.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be in. I'm sure he will. He's on vacation, so we'll be lucky to have him.
Nice.
You know about his son, right?
Yeah. Plays for the A's. Yeah. It's Round Lake, so I have to follow Noda's family through the years. Right. I always keep my tabs on how he's doing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very proud.
So Lester, let's be honest. You heard that Shorty was coming to Round Lake, so you hurried up and got out of there, did you?
That's just how the graduation works. I was class of '88, so like you said, I just missed him by a year. By the time I got out of there, he was coming in, so it's all good.
He was like, "Oh, Shorty's coming. Let me go."
After the show, he's gonna go. It's a good thing I did get out of there in '88, man.
Right.
we joke around a ton, Lester. So
it's all good.
Just feel free to do it. You're pretty good at joking around too. I've seen it live, so
yeah, I'll be good with it. I'm fine. I'm good for whatever. I'm here.
Awesome,
cool. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Shorty.
No, you ask. Go ahead, my friend.
No, I was going to ask, how did you get into doing the things that you do with the media? How did you get into that? I'm just curious.
I've always kind of had like been kind of creative. I've always liked football, obviously, and then I used to write song lyrics way back in the day. That was my creative outlets. And then, we tried to break into music business for a long time. And, back in the day, it was much harder than it was these days. These days, if you have a TikTok, you're a rapper. You know what I mean? So, back in the day, it was a bit harder to break into things. We pushed it as far as we could. And I got a little older. And then I kind of stumbled across the sportingnews.com, which they used to, back then, they had a blog site where you can go on there and write about stuff. So I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. So I started doing that. They had a bunch of fantasy games. It was a really nice community. So I was doing the sporting news for a long time, a little while. Then the person who ran it said, hey, do you want to be the Bears blogger? I'm like, well, what does that mean? Oh, nothing. It's just a title. That's all it is. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm doing it anyway. What the hell? So I was the official Bears blogger there for a little while. I got in the magazine one a couple times, and then they shut that down. Then I was lost, and I had to find somewhere else to write. I started doing stuff at Windy City Gridiron, just because they have a section called the fan post. It's you, me. It's just for the fans writing there. And then the person who ran the set at the time said, hey, you want to be a front page contributor? Like, what does that mean? Nothing. Okay, yeah, I'll do it. I'm doing it anyway. So then I just kind of stuck with it. And through the years, I kind of moved up through the ranks, and now I run the sites. The podcasting thing kind of popped up at some point. It was one of those things where I never really wanted to do the podcasting, but then this company, offered to pay me. I'm like, well, yeah, I'll try it. That company went under, but then by that time I have like an audience. I'm like, well, shit, I got to keep doing this now. So I kept it going. And then, Vox Media, who runs SB Nation, they started doing the pods. Then eventually our podcast channel blew up, and now we got the video channel, Second City Gridiron. So just grinding, man. I'm just grinding, trying to get ahead as much as possible.
Now, excuse my ignorance because I really don't know. I'm not asking out of true curiosity because I remember a thing called Bears Goggles On, and then Windy City. Was that same thing or two different things?
Bear Goggles On is they eventually were bought by USA Today, I think.
Okay.
SB is Windy City Gridiron.
Okay.
They're under the Vox Media umbrella. They have, they're pretty much a team, a site for every team. So.
Okay. All right.
That's how they do the thing there.
All right. Cool.
Nice.
That's awesome, man. It's just you just fall into these things and you end up, you're like, oh, I can't quit my podcast now. Like it's too,
Well, I mean, it's still just a side gig. I mean, I have bills and shit. So I gotta have I have a real job and stuff, but I mean, this is the fun stuff. This is my hobby. This is what I enjoy to do. I don't go out. I don't really, have a nightlife anymore back in the day. And so, this is what I enjoy. I enjoy, Bears, and I enjoy my family. And that's pretty much my life right now.
How many hours do you think you put into doing this podcast stuff a week?
I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, it's not my full-time job, but I put full-time effort into it. I mean, that's, wow. I like my real job. I work at a law firm downtown. I work from home a few days a week. So, when I'm on break, I'll try and, I'll go on Twitter, see what's going on. When I get off work, I'm writing. I got a couple podcasts each week. I do shows like this all the time whenever I'm asked. So just, like I said, it's a part-time job, but to me, it's full-time effort.
Yeah. Because I've seen you in a lot of podcasts this week alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, if anyone asks me, I'm pretty much, if I have the time, I'll jump in and kind of, lend a hand if I can.
We appreciate you coming on, man.
Sure.
It's seriously, and what a small world.
Right. I know, right?
So
I was just gonna say that is such a neat little story, man, and I love the way you throw in, because we've been talking about this over the week. It's like the important things, family and friends, and the few that you got, and then we're all just huge Bears fans.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole common thing, man. We have that common thing where you're huge Bear fans doing this out of love. It's something we enjoy, and at the end of the day, try and be a good person. I think
There
Joe
it is.
Mandel said that a couple weeks ago exactly. So
I like it.
I love that stuff, man, because that's real.
Put that on a T-shirt, my friend.
What's that?
Put it on a T-shirt. That's the slogan.
Yeah.
There it is.
So were you like such a big Bears fan growing up that people would be like, oh yeah, of course Lester's doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a Bears fan. I mean, when I was really young, I kind of started. I was really young, so it was back then. It was Dallas Cowboys for a year. That's kind of was my first team, and then my cousin's a big Cowboy fan. I'm like, I can't be a Cowboy fan. I'm a Steeler fan now. I'm talking like I was a little kid, right? And then I was cheering for the Steelers for a year. And then I saw Walter Payton on TV, and I'm like, wait a minute, the Bears are on every Sunday? They're the local team? Forget about it. It was over. I became a Bears fan then, and I was a Bears fan ever since.
Nice.
You guys know I was ready to take him off the show, right? Y'all know that, right? I just want to put it out there. Y'all know that, right? So
I was like 7 years old. I mean, I had no idea. That was the Tony Dorsett. That was Roger Staubach era.
Right.
Back then it was NFL films on the weekend. So it's all about the hype of the Cowboys, America's team. So that's my team now. I don't know any better. They're on Monday Night Football. But like I said, then my cousin was a big Cowboy fan, and I gotta go against him. So of course I picked the big rival at the time. It was the Steelers. And then, like I said, once I saw Walter Payton run, once I saw him do his thing, it was over.
Yeah.
See, I apologize, Lester. There's one thing you probably don't know about this show is that people get removed for insulting our guests.
There it is.
So
it was nice seeing you.
Thanks for starting the show with us, PJ. We'll see you next week.
There you look at him. Damn it.
So I have a little bit of experience myself with the Bears because I actually had for 3 seasons I was I ran off the copies of all the stats for each quarter, and had to hand them out to the people in the press box. So I actually in the stadium in the press box, and I had season tickets to go to training camp, and I stayed in the same dorms with them for 3 years and ate meals with them, and
Nice.
had my knees taken up by Jeremy Lincoln on the sideline. And I mean, so I loved that, having that, like going to training camp and having that insight. How are you enjoying this training camp, and how do you feel about this Bears team? We predicted 11-6 as a whole, and I personally think they could win the Super Bowl. But
Nice.
that's just if Justin Fields blows up, he becomes MVP. Let's just say,
Yeah.
anything's possible. Am I way crazy? Or first off, let's just start off with how what's it like being at training camp, and what are you seeing?
Yeah, but I was down there a couple of days. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I try to go every year when I can. Obviously, when I was in Bourbonnais, there were no tickets. You just went. Pretty much the whole crowd was there. It was pretty live.
Love that.
Since we moved to Hallis Hall, they obviously limit it. So last year I only made it out to one practice because I had tickets for 4 days, but my other 3 got rained out. So this year I was lucky. Both days I had tickets. Was nice. I was there on Monday, Tuesday. First day at Pads Tuesday. It was a lot of fun. I mean, we had one of our other guys was there Saturday. We got a couple guys going to see the joint practices with the Colts. So we're going to try and have as much coverage, live firsthand coverage we can there. But camp is great, man. It's just good to see it in person. It's good to see what the beat guys are talking about. See with your own eyes. You see the speed of a guy like Tyler Scott, Bayless Jones, DJ Moore. Seeing his crisp route running and how much he'll bring to the team. Justin Fields too. I mean, that speed is real, man. And then of course, the brand new guys on defense, man. Tremaine Edmonds is just a big dude. I mean, he's like, he looks the part on TV, but then you see him out there, and it's like, yes, this is like it gives you a notion of Brian Urlacher back in the day. He's got that kind of size to him, and that's kind of what they're trying to build here. They want that same big presence in the middle when they run that Tampa 2 style zone.
Now, let me ask you this question: as far as I've been looking, everyone been seeing the normal beat writers, and they pumping up certain things. What have you noticed in the times that you've been at training camp that the beat writers are not talking about?
I think the beat writers do a pretty good job. I mean, the one thing they do is they really get drug if they say anything negative. And I mean, for the most part, they're just trying to present what they see. There are a couple of guys that kind of like to really, press the button and go a little more negative because they know that's what, gets people riled up. But for the most part, the beat guys have been pretty good. I mean, I will say the DJ Moore, Justin Fields connection, that is legit. That is real. That's something that they've been talking about, but I mean, you can't miss it. And then, man, Chase Claypool looks like the real deal too, man. He has had a really nice camp so far. The guy's been talking him up. When I was there, he looked really good. He looks like he could be the, missing link of this offense, which is cool because you got DJ Moore now as the top guy. Right. Let's Claypool kind of go. Now he has his role, and then of course Darnell Mooney is the slot. So this offense could really surprise some people.
Okay.
I agree. To the Super Bowl? How about 11-6?
I have them 10 wins, and I think I am the most optimistic, one of the most optimistic guys on our site. We got like 12, 13 content creators we have that we work with, and there's only 2 of us that have got them that many wins. I just think best case scenario, I just think just like you said, Justin Fields, man, he's gonna take that step. If he takes that step with better weapons around him, the defense has been upgraded. The schedule on paper doesn't look that difficult. Aaron Rodgers is gone. So I think the division's wide open. I think the conference is weak overall. So I would not be surprised 10 wins. I would be surprised if they went to the Super Bowl. But I am here for that if that happens.
So no real negative stories that you've seen yourself that the media or the beat writers are not talking about?
I mean, the defensive line still needs some work. I mean, there's some edge, questions there. If DeMarcus Walker's injury is any more serious than what it looks like, that's going to be a problem. The O-line depth, I saw the question pop up on your screen there. I am also concerned with the O-line depth because right now you got two guards out. You have a rookie at one tackle. Larry Borum's your swing. I do not want to see Larry Borum playing much at all this season. So the O-line has some issues. We got to see if one of these backups can step up. I know they have they're high on Jatiri Carter, but we got to see it. He didn't play at all last year. They're high on him. Let's see what he has there. Lucas Patrick's your top reserve. He was really awful last year because of the injury. Maybe he's much better this year with the club off and he's healthy. We'll see, but there's some questions there. I mean, the talent on paper is there to gel. If they gel, they'll be fine.
Right.
But man, Nate Davis, out. Tevin Jenkins, went out, and Coach Flus, man, he said I'm not going to tell you guys anything about injuries. If there's something to say, I'll tell you. But for now, they're missing practice, and that's just the Bears' philosophy.
Yeah,
I like it too. There's no reason to tell everybody how badly anybody is injured.
Yeah.
Well,
unless it's bad enough.
Yeah.
Well, what have you seen of Dieter Eisland? Because I hear that Kramer took second team reps at center. So what's up with Dieter?
Yeah, I think because Lucas Patrick was filling in at guard because Davis was out, so we're going to get Doug Kramer and Dieter Eisland. The day we were there, like I said, we were there for the first day of pads, and Eisland and Kramer both are pretty bad. That's my initial take, and so I would not want to see either one of those guys play much. My podcast partner said on our show a couple of days ago that he hopes Cody Whitehair's healthy all year because he does not want to see it go to the backup. Like I said, if it's Lucas Patrick healthy, maybe, but if they're forced to go to Eisland or Kramer, that's going to be rough. I can't see either one of those guys being roster locks. I think Kramer is probably going to get cut, come back to the practice squad. Eisland might make it because he's been around for this is I think his fourth year. He has a little more experience. He could play both guard spots plus some center. So I think he may make it as a reserve, but I think Kramer's probably going to be on the practice squad.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. He wasn't somebody that I really had much I wasn't putting much stock in him, but Dieter Eisland was somebody that we were kind of high on, thinking that he could take that step.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a great story. I mean, he was a big rugby guy. His college film, if you could find any of it, is fun to watch because he just was dominant in college. I think he went to Yale, one of the Ivy League schools. I believe it was Yale. Yeah. He was throwing dudes around, but that competition is going to take him some time. I was hoping he would take a step eventually and get there, but he played a little bit last year. I didn't really see enough to kind of really make a good judgment, but he still, I mean, he has, if he were to become a superstar coming from an undrafted free agent, if he were to become a starter guy, that'd be a big jump. The fact that he made a roster now, this is, like I said, going on his fourth year, that's a big win for the kid.
Yeah.
Right. Now, any word on Travis Gibson? I'm sorry, would you say something, Foster?
Go ahead.
Any word on Travis Gibson? I mean, because again, he's not one I've heard about.
When I was there, he looked pretty good. I think he beat Darnell Wright for a sack or two when I was there. He'll be in the mix on the edge, of course. Of course, they got Rasheed Green. They have DeMarcus Walker. With Walker out when I was there a little bit, he kind of left the day I was there. He left, and Gibson was getting some reps there. I mean, 2 years ago he looked like he was up and comer.
Right.
Last year, he had some issues, but then I saw some of the advanced stats. And, he was one of the most double team guys in the league last year, which I never would have guessed just by watching the film. But that's how, the Pro Football Focuses, these guys had him graded. So, maybe this year, if he's not double quite as much, he can do some more things. We'll see. I mean, I think he'll be in the mix, but I'm not expecting him to make a jump and have 7 sacks like he did a couple years ago.
Oh, wow.
I'm not really either. I'm not either.
What about?
I would expect more from Robinson than him, actually.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at Dominic Robinson, I mean, he's just a really good athlete. He played quarterback, wide receiver, early on in his high school and college career. He only went to D-line, I think, in 2020. So that was the COVID year. So, he hasn't played the position much. But, if you listen to the players and the coaches talk about him, they talk him up pretty good. I mean, he spent this last offseason working, I think, with Robert Mathis from the Colts, trying to get better as a pass rusher. And he needs that. I mean, last year he had a sack and a half in week 1, and he pretty much didn't do much the rest of the season. Yeah. He kind of hit the rookie wall real early, but he has speed, athleticism, he has length, he has all the traits this coaching staff wants. He just has to put it together with some technique.
Yeah, I seen in a special they had on him. I forgot what I saw it on. It was on YouTube, and he said his best 3 games was the last 3 games of the season because he finally figure certain things out. Although he had a sack and a half in that first game against San Francisco, but overall, he said his game he didn't start really getting it until the last 3 games.
Sure.
Because he stated going against Philadelphia, Malata just killed him. So he's like, yeah. So to say that he's learned from that and moved on, I'm looking forward to see what he does this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. Of all the guys that are returning, I have the most high hopes for Robinson on that D line.
Now I hear Jervon Dexter is a man child.
Yes, he is. He looks really good out there. I mean, like I said, I was there the first day without pads, second day with pads. But even when he had no pads on, I mean, you could see the quickness off the ball. The strength. He was throwing guys around. I mean, that's what he did in college. I mean, he would eat up two or three blockers at times at Florida.
Right.
So he's used to that. So now the Bears are saying, hey, we don't want you to eat space. We want you to attack. And you look at his testing numbers. He's a great athlete. So he's there too. So he's been getting some reps at the nose and at the 3 tech. I'm not sure where he'll end up being, once the season comes around, but he's a guy that can play both. And I think maybe long-term, he may be your 3 tech.
Now,
I love how they doubled down with 2 defensive tackles in a row. It reminds me of, 2005, 2006 when they got Tank Johnson and Tommy Harris.
Yeah. I think it was 04. Yeah, that was a good draft that year. And if both Zach Pickens and Dexter can hit, like I said, Dexter, I'm pretty sure is gonna be pretty good. Pickens has some skills too there, but they'll be able to bring him along a little slower.
Now,
PJ, before you ask another question,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
we have guests waiting in the back that would like to talk to Lester as well.
All right.
He's just having fun, man. We're just having some fun.
Yeah.
He's just chewing him up. As soon as you're ducked out, he's like,
Well, you know why, right? Because once a guest come on, I'm going to let them do their thing, and I'm going to be quiet.
I know. But we have some other guests that would like to ask him 1 or 2 questions, and Polsky is one. He has to actually leave soon, so I want to bring him on to ask Lester a couple of questions. Polsky, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, good guys. How are you?
Excellent.
What's up, Polsky?
Hey,
What's up?
how you doing?
Good.
Paul.
Foster, nice to meet you. How are you doing,
Nice to
Foster?
meet you. Yeah, good.
I can't put Foster's phrase on a T-shirt. However, I've definitely started putting this on T-shirts. Just Incredible Fields. So, I run a YouTube channel at BearsCountry Film. If you want to check it out, I got a bunch of Bears videos, hype videos, highlight videos, stuff like that, as well as some custom gear. So I'm not following you on Twitter yet, but I am now. So check out the channel and whatnot if you have some time. But my first question for you was going to be, statistically, what kind of season does Justin Fields need to have in order for this front office to not have to address the quarterback position in the next offseason?
I mean, I think they're pretty much sold on Fields now. I mean, they set him up. I'm not going to say set him to fail, last year, but they did nothing. I mean, Ryan Poles brought nothing in really to help him. I mean, they had Dakota Dozier lined up as their starting guard at one point in the offseason. They did not do a lot. I mean, it was Byron Pringle who kind of came in, who was like kind of just a guy in KC, and so they didn't really do too much. So at some point, watching him play, watching him take to this offense, they started believing in him. So I think they're pretty much sold on him right now. I mean, I'm not expecting MVP Fields this season. I'm not expecting him to break the 4,000-yard passing mark, but I do think he's going to get over 3,000 yards passing. He's going to run the ball pretty good. His efficiency will be much better, and I think that's going to be enough for the Bears to decide that he's the guy and pay him long term. And man, this contract. Look at how the quarterbacks are going. The next guy up gets the big check. So don't be surprised if Justin Fields does balls out. He's getting one of these gigantic record-setting deals.
So just a quick follow-up. Yeah, I believe Vegas has him at 29.15, if I'm correct. So, yeah, that 3,000-yard mark is kind of what we're keeping an eye on, I think, statistically. But even if it doesn't come to stats, do you think the team wins or have anything to do with it, or is it just all based off the eye test?
Yeah, I think, the wins would be nice, obviously, but again, it's going to come down to efficiency. Like like in that open with Greeny, he talked about how Justin Fields was one of the more efficient passers, down the stretch. You look at his raw numbers, you're like, well, he was throwing like 130 yards a game, 140 yards a game. Not impressive. But the Bears weren't throwing much, but he was efficient. He was smarter with the ball. He wasn't taking as many sacks. He kind of learned that part of the game. So let's see how he does in the second year in the Getsy scheme. And I think, like I said, that's why I got him at 10 wins. I think the wins will come because he's going to be better. Just the DJ Moore factor is going to be huge here for this team.
Okay, and then question number 2: which one player on the Bears do you think it's the most important for them to stay healthy all year?
Probably DJ Moore. I mean, besides Fields, it's got to be DJ Moore because you got to have that go-to guy. He's the number one. He sets the entire receiving core up. This guy is a legit number one receiver. He doesn't look the part because a lot of guys here, wide receiver one has to be like 6'4", but that's not how they all look. I mean, he's more like a Stephon Diggs. He's just a little smaller, but he's a great route runner. He has good hands, great after the catch. So I think DJ Moore stays healthy. That lets Mooney in the slot. That lets Claypool, do his thing at the X. That lets Kmet, be open for the zones in the middle. So I think if DJ Moore, stays healthy all year, along with Fields, the offense could be, really surprising.
So I asked that same question to my buddy David, who helps me with some of the content on my channel and whatnot. And that was my initial answer was DJ Moore. But he brought up a good point, and I think you kind of hit it in the opener a little bit. He's like, yeah, but you look at this offensive line. He goes, if Braxton Jones goes down, that could be so impactful, even more impactful than a guy like DJ Moore going down potentially, because the Bears have kind of added some depth to that wide receiver position. And worst comes to worst, you're kind of left with what you had at the end of the year last year. But if we suffer an injury at the left tackle position, or even really anywhere on the line, like you were saying with the center and whatnot, I think that could be pretty detrimental to this team. So hopefully all those guys stay healthy and they all gel. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your answers, and appreciate you. I'll definitely check out some of your content, and hopefully you check out some of mine too.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Cool. Thank you, Lester. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks,
Go
Paul.
All right, I'll see you guys. Thank you.
All right. Let's see. You threw me off with the show. There was something he said at the end there about I was going to say Jason Peters is still out there, right?
Yeah, he's out there. I'm not sure he's got much left in the tank. But I mean, that is true. I mean, it all starts up front. I think the Bears with the receiving core and the way they have Robert Tonyan now, I think the quick game is a little more something they can go to if they had to, just because they have better receivers. They have a good stable of running backs now. I mean, it all starts up front, but there is no superstar amongst the O-line right now. I think Tevin Jenkins has the potential to be that. Obviously, with Wright, a rookie, he has the potential to be that. I like the upside of Braxton Jones too, but we got to see what he does here in year 2.
Yeah.
You're muted, Foster.
He's just yelling at everybody over there.
Nobody can hear a damn word he's saying.
No, I just the only thing I was saying. I said, didn't Paulie kind of make like 4 questions out of 2, pulling the old PJ
follow-up.
thing where PJ's got this thing where I got one more questions, but it's like 27 subparts.
But he got in and look, he got in and out, removed himself.
Yeah, he did.
Stop PJ, I gotta remove him.
So I was like, well, that was cool. And good questions, man. Good questions, good answers.
We do have we have Brian waiting in the background who has a couple questions for you too. Let's bring him on. What's up, Brian?
Hello, how you guys doing?
What's going on, Brian?
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Hi,
Brian.
Lester. Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan. I really enjoy all the work that you do on Windy City, along with you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Greg Gabriel does some work with you, right?
Yeah. Greg started with us like a year or so ago, and he's been with us on the site for a while. His podcast stuff he does with Barroom. We've had him as a guest on a few of our shows, but yeah, Greg's good. Greg's a real nice guy.
And then you guys brought in a newer guy. His name, I had his name on my mind, and then I don't know, crossed me up. But I think you guys caught a good one. He does podcasting as well, I believe.
Bill? Is that Bill Zimmerman?
No. Oh gosh,
Mason
dang,
West?
Nope.
He's gonna make you go through all of them.
Taylor Dahl?
What's that?
Taylor Dahl. She has Making Monsters for us.
No, I can't think of his name. But I just watched one of his videos.
Okay.
He's really good talent too. I think you guys caught a good one with him as well.
Nice.
But so first off, I want to before I ask Lester these questions, I want to address the elephant in the room. I almost thought that Shorty was going to say that at the very beginning that he was the lead cheerleader, and but anyways, no, but seriously, so, and then he broke off to something else. But anyways, Lester, I have a couple of questions that aren't necessarily what I would think that your usual fan would ask you, because I wanted to be a little bit different. So do you have a story? I'm sure you've met with Greg Gabriel, right?
Over the phone, over Zoom. This is how I met Greg. I mean, we text him every now and again. It's a social media world, man. Everyone talks over social media these days.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious because I love his work. I could listen to him, 24 hours a day, and just
he'll want to come out here and talk to you because of Greg Gabriel. We get it.
No, but I
just book you and get Greg.
He's really good at what he does. I mean, he's been in his position for a reason, and you guys got a hold of a good one there as well. But anyways, so
I think you were asking if he had a story about him. Is that what your question?
Yeah. I didn't know.
I don't really have any story. I mean, just like with Greg, every now and then we'll talk, and he does still have league connections. I mean, he coached. I mean, he was a scout in the NFL for 30 years. So every now and then he will slip me a nugget. Of course, but it's off the record. So, but Greg does know his stuff. So, if you see Greg on Twitter doing his thing, he's not just pulling stuff out of his butt. I mean, Greg's pretty dialed in. Like anyone that does this, he's sometimes wrong with things, but but he knows his stuff. And if Greg says something, I generally trust what he has to say. The Bears just signed a guy. Is this true here, Leo?
I'm looking it up here.
They got Ngakoue.
Yeah, let me see here.
What?
That's been on the lips for months.
Some breaking news here on your show.
Break it to us now. Break it to us. Break it to us slow, though. Break it to us slow.
Yannick Ngakoue signed a 1-year, $10.5 million deal with the Chicago Bears. $10 million is guaranteed, so it's a 1-year deal. That's good. Nice stuff.
That's awesome. And okay, and that was going to lead me. I wasn't playing off of that, but I am now. That was going to lead me to my next question for you. You've seen how Foles has done business from the past year, and it seems like he has a method to his madness. How when you see him sign somebody, then he's gonna back it up with drafting someone of the same position. He doubles up. It seems like to me, and I might be totally wrong, but it seems like he doubles up when he goes, and doing his business. And my question was, as far as that goes, what position do you see him doubling up? What's the greatest percentage you personally would think that position would be where he would double up?
This next offseason, probably defensive end again. I mean, the deal here is just a 1-year deal. I think the Bears are going to be his 5th team in 5 years, or 4th team in 4 years. So he's just a mercenary type guy. If he does really good, the Bears may bring him back. but they're still going to draft the guy because they have 2 first-round draft picks. You know, the edge position is pretty top heavy. It's pretty good draft coming up for the edge. Our guy Jacob Infante will have all that down. Of course, he's our lead draft analyst. But yeah, it's going to be defensive end. It's my guess in the offseason.
And that's exactly what I was expecting to hear from you. I just wanted to, you know, connect the dots more or less. You know?
Yeah.
And do you have anybody like you would prefer over, you know, like I know it's a year down the road, but you have your own preferences. Like you're like, oh man, I hope we get this guy.
You know, I have not really dove too much into the free agency because it's so hard to tell this time of year because obviously Chase Young could be on the market. You know, we kind of see who shakes loose. You know, there's going to be someone. I mean, there's always somebody. It's just a matter of are they going to get franchise tagged? There's a team going to bring them back. And as far as the draft goes, like I said, our guy Jacob has been on it. You know, he does mock drafts all the time for us. You know, he has that first round on lock. So, you know, I talked to him and he tells me there's at least a couple guys that could go wherever the Bears are going to pick. You know, depending on where they land here, either them or Carolina's pick, where there could be a guy that's in there for that spot and they take him. Plus, with like I said, they have the extra first round pick. It gives them some ammunition. So if it's a guy they really covet, if they wanted to move up, now they have the ammo to do it.
So there's
You're
a gentleman.
too many questions over here, Brian.
Okay, so there's a gentleman on this podcast. There's a gentleman on this podcast that is like totally in love with Chase Young, and I don't know if you know this or not, but it scares me to think, oh, let's go get Chase Young because he really hasn't shown much.
It's not going to happen now. They just signed Yannick, so it's not going to happen now.
Yeah, it's not happening. Plus, I think with Young,
awesome.
He's coming off the injury. I know Washington put him on the block, so to speak. That was the big rumor, but no one's trading for him. I think Washington just did it to kind of see where his price range was. If they would have got blown away, then maybe they make a deal because they have a ton of money tied up on the D line there. So if he shows he's the guy, if he shows he's bounced back and he's completely healthy and he's getting sacks, maybe they deal him at the deadline. But now with the Bears making a move here, we'll see what happens. I think they may not want to trade any assets now. I think they.
Right.
I mean, I like I said, I'd love to see the Bears win it all this year. I think realistically speaking, the Bears may feel they're another year away. This will be a good year to kind of build it up. I mean, they had 3 wins last year. So if they win 7 games, that's a hell of an improvement. 3-7, that's great. Bears fans will be pissed because they want playoffs. But if they show improvement, if they show improvement, to me that's a win in my book.
Yeah, and something just to be reminded of. Cole said everything wasn't going to be fixed in 1 year. Exactly. So we have to be patient, just like he is being patient as far as like connecting all the dots and making that deep playoff run. And the thing I say, maybe they win maybe 8, 9, 10, and that's having a good year for me. I'm really shaky about like the depth of the offensive line. Like if anybody goes down on that offensive line, man, it's a shaky road we're going down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean the O-line depth overall is better than a year ago, and so that at least that's a positive. But and plus if something drastic happens, they may be forced to make a move. And like I said, they have some draft capital they could play with. They have a lot of money. We'll see what happens here. I just, you got to hope they all stay healthy. If they're healthy, I think on paper the O-line should be pretty good. They're still going to be a real run first team. They're going to want to pound Herbert and Foreman. They're going to want to get Roshan Johnson involved as much as possible. They're going to try and do a lot of running stuff, but then they're going to let the play action pass. The short game should be there. Some more max protect stuff. So we'll kind of see where it all plays out. But I'm with you, man. It's about that O-line. Let these guys stay healthy, and they'll be good to go.
No more questions, Brian. You're done. We got
he got kicked out of here.
Questions. I'm really excited with our signing. That's awesome news right there in itself, because we, as a defensive team, our pressure was never going to come from the edge. It was always going to come from the center. Center out. The edge is going to be the more containing, like, okay, you're going to get your sacks when the quarterback is pressured out of the middle. That was my
Jay?
Huh?
Is Brian taking classes from you? I swear you're running a studio teaching people how to just keep going.
He read TJ's book.
Brian is my guy. What you talking about? He's my
All
guy.
right. I love you, guy. We got to let you go. We have Walt coming out. We have one more surprise guest that's going to want to talk to Lester as well. So
Thanks,
appreciate
Brian.
you.
Thanks, Brian.
Coming up.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Walt, are you there in the background?
He is.
Before PJ goes on a roll, now we got to bring in Walt. You got 2 questions, Walt. You got 2 questions.
2 questions. You know what? Let's break it down. We're talking about O-line. Let's go on to the center situation. Do you think the plan is in place now just to keep Cody White here? Or do we look at maybe because I'm pretty high on Doug Kramer. I don't really think he's as bad as everyone makes it out to be. We have no sample for him, so we can't really make a decision.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there is no sample size. I just go by what I saw and what I hear some guys talk about. And so far, no one's really been overly impressed with Kramer. Obviously, he's coming off the injury, so you got to take that into effect as well. But even his tape at Illinois, I wasn't overly impressed with. I know our guy Bill did a lot of film work on him. He said he was on the ground a bit too much. Greg Gabriel talks about that a lot. He says guys that are on the ground a lot in college, that usually translates. He calls them groundhogs. If they spend too much falling, that shows you don't have good core strength. So that was Kramer's problem in college at Illinois. That's something you can work on, obviously. So, but then of course the injury kind of set him back. So we got to kind of see where he is. If Patrick's forced to play guard, then Kramer may be your backup center. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I think White here obviously is in the plans this year. He's definitely their guy. I believe his contract, he has another year after this, but you can get out of it if you wanted to next offseason. It wouldn't really cost you too much in dead space. I always looked at this year as going to be Whitehair's year. As soon as I realized what they're going on, when they didn't draft Schmitz, I know a lot of Bears fans wanted to get the kid from Minnesota. When they didn't draft the kid from Ohio State, Wepler, the kid from Wisconsin, all those Big Ten centers, a lot of Bears fans wanted. When they passed on them all and you realize, well, I guess they're all in on Cody Whitehair for at least one season, it makes the most sense. He's a veteran. He's going to have a new right guard in Nate Davis, a new left guard in Tevin Jenkins. He has a second-year tackle and a rookie tackle. So you want that veteran presence at center. So this year at least is his year, and then we'll see how they gel and see what happens next season.
Okay. Now let's jump ahead to 2024 a little bit. Going into the draft, since we signed Yannick Ngakoue, if you had to pick an edge, who would you go with?
Like I said, I haven't done too much work into this stuff. I know there's the kid Verse, I believe his name is. That's who everyone seems to be really high on.
Yes.
Like I said, it's where the Bears pick. I mean, the Panthers, they might be pretty bad, so the Bears could be picking pretty high. It depends how high that pick is. I mean, if that pick's high enough where one of those quarterbacks are there, Bears may flip that pick again and move back because everyone wants the quarterback, and there's at least 2 that should go pretty high. Of course, the receivers up there, maybe they're that high and they want the receiver because you can never have enough receivers. So I just think it's with Ngakoue, it's a 1-year deal. He's a mercenary. Like I said, if he does really, really good and he gels with this, I mean, this is a big culture, franchise. If he meshes with the locker room and he has a nice big season, and I think, yeah, this guy is, we can bring him back for a 2 or 3 year deal because I think he's 29 years old. So he's right in his prime there. I mean, he's still got some good football ahead of him. Maybe they re-sign him, but like I said in the last segment, I think they double dip at defensive end in the draft and in free agency next offseason.
Okay. Just a quick question, Shorty. Yannick Ngakoue, why do you think he bounced around the league so much?
One-trick pony. I mean, his thing is rushing the passer. Everywhere he's gone, his knock is he can't stop the run, which, you know what, if that's the case, and then you're in Chicago, it's a lot of money. But you know what? Don't start him. Let him rush the passer. It's a passing league anyway. You're in nickel, 65% of the time anyway. So if he's coming off the bench, I think at this point in his career, you should understand why. Because he's not stopping the run. And you have Rasheem Green, you have DeMarcus Walker, who are 2 good run-stopping defensive ends. I think if Ngakoue is a guy that's just your situational pass rusher, he's still going to play 60% of the snaps just getting after the quarterback. So I think that's why he's bounced around so much. And like I said, if he has a great year, hopefully he finds a home in Chicago, because you need those guys to get after the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Well, awesome. Thanks for coming on, Walt. You're gonna stick around for Shoot the Shit later?
Yeah, I'll be back.
All right, cool.
Thanks, Walt.
Thanks, Walt. We'll talk some food later too, man.
Awesome food. All right.
And I have to. We
Food.
have Tommy Noda waiting in the background, and we have to bring him out.
My guy.
We're doing another little mini reunion
Oh,
show.
look, he's got the guns out. I knew you're gonna have a tank top, because you got to get those guns popping, my friend. Oh, he's on mute too. Get him in here. Come on, let's go.
You're muted.
There he is. Here he is. Come on. Oh, don't tell me his phone's not going to cooperate.
Oh, man.
Put it on speaker, Tommy.
I think he's on a laptop.
He's working.
He's pissed.
It's okay, Tomus, man. Reset it.
He was just on the show last week. It worked.
Yeah, I saw it. I was actually on that show too, I think.
Let's see. Something on my end here.
Oh, he's not coming in.
Are you're on a computer, Tom?
Yes or no? Are you on
Yes or no? Oh, what a bummer, man.
StreamYard does work on a cell phone most of the time.
Yeah.
If you want to pop it on, go to the link in your cell. It should be able to get you on there.
Yeah, you were on your cell last time, I think, weren't you?
Shoot him. Can you shoot him the link to his cell phone, Shorty? Send him a text message with it. Come on your phone. And then
Tommy, go to the bottom where it says he's out.
All right, quick question for you, Lester, while we're waiting on Tommy. Because Poles has a propensity to double down, do you still think it's out of the realm of possibility that they still might make another move for another defensive end?
I mean, it depends. I mean, I know Justin Houston had some rumors that the Bears were interested in him. I actually would have preferred Justin Houston over a guy that just signed. I just think he's a little bit of a pass rusher. I think he has a veteran presence, more well-respected. I think he'd be a great locker room guy. But I'm okay with this signing here too. So maybe they do double down. Plus, let's see how bad the injury to Walker. I mean, if DeMarcus Walker's going to miss any time, they may be forced to go out and get another guy.
So he did have an injury? I thought he just had a veteran days on.
The day I was there, he left early with trainers, and then from what I understand, he did not practice today. And then of course, when the Bears talk, they just say, he's got an injury. They don't really get any details. So we'll see when they practice. I think they're back. The fans are back at it tomorrow, so we'll know for sure.
Okay.
Cool. I wanted to kind of piggyback off of a question that was asked earlier about Justin Fields. What if he ends up having the exact same statistical season, or relatively off by a number or two?
That would mean something went wrong, because he's just, the offense, year two of the offense, year two of the scheme, better receivers, better O-line, a better backfield by committee, a better tight end group. I mean, everything there is better for him. I hope they're not running him at quarterback power 3-4 times a game. I want him to see them scale back some of the runs. Let him pick up his yards scrambling. That's what he's good at anyway. Have some read options where you do have to run in the ball once in a while, but I don't want to see 6, 7, 8 called quarterback runs. That's just not good for your offense.
No.
Agreed.
I just wonder what would happen if the Panthers ended up with the first pick and Justin Fields had a similar season.
Then you might see the Bears go after the quarterback. I mean, if Fields does not take a step, you're in a situation where you have that draft pick. I mean, I'm a big Fields fan. I would hate to see it happen, but I would understand the franchise having to make that move, because Williams is like, everyone says he's the next sure thing. So they still got to play the games. We'll see how he does in college. I mean, at this point next year, maybe he'll regress. I mean, who knows? I mean, we've seen plenty of guys say, "Oh, this guy will be the next big thing." kind of flame out during their final year in college. So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Let's see if we can get Tom in here now. There you go. What's up, Tommy?
What's going on, guys? Sorry about that. I have no
There
idea
he is.
what happened.
Technology, man. What's up?
What's going on, fellas? How you guys been?
I'm good, Tommy.
Made it up, Tomus.
Absolutely.
We are excellent. I know you were on the show, the reunion show last week, and we were talking about Lester coming on this week, and so I know you wanted to come on. So,
what a small world, Noda. What's up, man? It's crazy.
I know. Tell me about it. We were talking about it last week. All of a sudden, my boys are like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like Lester was an absolute stud back in the day.
Crazy. Small world. That's awesome.
Yeah. How you been, big dog?
I've been good, man. I've been really good. I mean, just I can't complain about too much. You just living the dream.
Yeah, absolutely. Likewise.
Nice.
you guys were balling it up at Shoot the Bull back in the day.
Oh,
Yeah. 3-on-3, men's leagues, softball city. We did a lot of softball together. All the stuff that men do when they get, out of high school, they got to find something to occupy the time. That was me and Noda, man. Going to the park, pretty much, all the time playing basketball, driving up to Gurney or Joaquin, wherever we could find a game. And that was us. We're going to find a game.
absolutely. Yeah, it was fun. We had a nice little run there for a little while.
Yeah. And then the age creeps up, man. And my knees said, that's enough of that. It's time to retire.
Oh, come on, man.
Not for Tommy, man. He's
not for Noda. Yeah, he's there. Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah.
It's just
50 years old, all ripped.
a little bit. I mean, I'm a little out of shape, but I won't be for long.
Nice.
So
I went to Round Lake too. I just graduated years before you guys.
Nice.
A century. He was in class number 1.
That's right. I have your yearbook picture.
Oh, look at that. You had that ready to go, man. Shorty, that was pulled up quick. Man.
Shorty pulling the trigger quick.
He's been waiting on that joke for months.
Right.
Walked into it.
I had to set him up, man.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
He was just waiting for the right comment. He had his finger on the button for the last 45 minutes. I know the guy.
if we were getting feedback from your computer there, Tom. Wait, hold on. That's on my end. Hold on a second. That should. Does that take care of it? No.
No, it's probably my iPad. Remember last time I had problems with it? The last time
Let's see if it did it now.
I ended up jumping on my phone.
Oh yeah. Are you on speaker?
I have no idea what this iPad is. Probably, yeah.
I'm only hearing your echo, Shorty.
I'm hearing everybody.
It's there.
I don't hear it from Tommy, though.
But I was saying that I had that joke queued up for. I'm gonna mute him. I had that joke queued up for PJ last week, and then I never got to do it because PJ left the show. So I use it for Foster later.
Nice.
Yeah, he pulled up all those guys' high school pictures. He goes, "Oh, by the way, I got yours, dude." I'm going, "What? How?"
There was a time that I could not pull it up that fast. I'll tell you that much. It's taking a little bit of getting used to here.
There was a time you couldn't pull it up that fast.
Oh,
there's a joke in there.
Yeah.
There is. He will find it.
That's what we were trying to just give you a warning about PJ, man, because he waits. He's like a shark. He waits, he pounces.
That's awesome. Oh, the hints is the name for Shorty, eh?
Wait, what, you said there's no need for him, Tom?
No, he said hence the name, I think.
Oh, I thought he said there was no need for Shorty anymore.
No, there's always no. You kidding me?
Oh, I just took him off too. I was going to do it, and then I'm like, I'm not going to do it, and then I accidentally did it. Wow, too bad.
That's awesome. So how was the talk been? I jumped in a little late, but I caught that little. I don't know. I jumped in and then I had the mic on and then it was gone. So I missed that last interview. Was the first dude seemed pretty knowledgeable, pretty decent. So
Yeah, Brian just, he got a little excited and asked way too many fucking questions.
yeah. I did jump in.
Excuse my French.
Give the if we end up going 3 wins last year, we get 7 this year. But I don't know, man. We were talking about it last week. I'm just a diehard fan anyway, so it is what it is. But
11 and 6.
I mean, it's definitely possible. I mean, like I said, I got him with 10. I think I'm a little high, but I just really believe in Justin Fields. I believe that he's got what it takes to take that step. He was a much different player at Ohio State. I mean, he wasn't this run first guy, and that's what the NFL fans who really didn't watch him much in college or really didn't scout him much. They just see him as this run first guy. They say he can't process, but he was fine in college.
Right.
His receiving core in college is better than what he had last year with the Bears. So,
absolutely,
you have to take a look at the talent around him. That was one of the most talented teams. Now the Bears have kind of made those moves that built things up, and like I said, this is the first time he's been in the same scheme now, for a few years. I mean, since Ohio State, because he had, last year was Getsy, this year's Getsy. Prior to this, it was Nagy. So. Prior to that, it was the Ryan Day scheme at Ohio State. So now he is 2 years in a row. Luke Getsy scheme. It's a quarterback friendly system, but it takes time to figure out. It takes time to learn all the ins and outs of the system. There's a lot of option routes for receivers that they expect them to know. Chase Claypool. One reason why he struggled last year because he just couldn't pick up the playbook, and fans are mad about that, but. That's the reality of the NFL playbook. It's difficult to learn coming in from Pittsburgh to Chicago, different scheme, different terminology. And fans say, just run them on a slant, run them on a fly, run them on a go. Well, that's not that simple because if the defense has this type of look, now that slant turns into an out. If the fade turns into a cross. I mean, there's so many option routes built in. If you don't know those things, if you're not on the same page as your quarterback, you're going to throw interceptions or you just can't be effective.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, how many guys ran the wrong routes last year or used the playbook from the year before? I know Mooney had a couple of them, Claypool. So we don't even know how many. I mean, it could have been all those guys.
Yeah.
Changing systems every year. I played for 3 years. We ran the T formation for 3 years.
T formation
in the 70s, man.
You might be 100 years old. Talk about that, man. Oh man.
We had 2 halfbacks, a quarterback, and a fullback in the backfield, man.
Okay.
So,
one of these days, the T formation's gonna come back, guys. It's gonna come back. I just hope it's the Bears that bring it back.
And one of these days, we're gonna get Chase Young.
Yeah, PJ's been saying that. I think since last year he's been on this Pete Chase Young thing. Mm-hmm. But hey, if that works and it works, and to help, whatever. I love the way Poles has gone about everything he's done, man. Very few things have I disagreed with the guy on. Even a couple things I did, I'm like, nah, I would have done that. And then in hindsight, or I'm looking back at it, it's like, I would have been totally wrong, man. I'm glad he did what he did. How long is he? He knows the game. The guy's been in it his whole life.
Yeah, I mean, he's. We talked about Greg Gabriel at the top of the show. If you trace Ryan Poles' scouting roots, I mean, it ends up with Greg Gabriel. Greg Gabriel trained Ballard, who helped train Ryan Poles. So, Poles and Gabriel are pretty tight. So it's it's good lineage for the scouting room there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tommy's on vacation, so his Wi-Fi is shit. He's saying in the chat. Must be nice, huh? On vacation, visiting your son, probably playing baseball somewhere.
Yeah, there it is. Living, like you said, living the dream, man. That's good.
Yeah.
But Lester,
every time I see him now, man, all you see is this big smile.
Oh, I know. And he looks 20 years younger.
Smiling and sitting there with the no sleeves.
Yeah.
He looks the same he did now that he did, 20 years ago. Exactly the same to me.
I hate those guys like that, man. I look the same as I did in like 1834.
Nice.
And 1734.
Yeah.
34 BC.
Man, rough crowd.
Well, Lester, I know we're going on a little over an hour over here, so I don't want to keep you too much longer. unless you want to continue to hang out with us.
I probably should go eat dinner. I've not had dinner yet tonight, and I'm getting a little hungry. You guys talked about food earlier. It got me really hungry.
Oh yeah, that's what we're about to get into here. This is
okay.
Half the show turns into food.
The important stuff. I got you.
Can I interject, Shorty?
Oh.
I just want to know if anybody from the chat had a question that we didn't get to ask Lester. Not me. Anybody from the chat.
Cliff had one, but it was before Yannick.
Cliff got answered. He said, that answered my question.
Cliff saying, Cliff wants me to show you his cheesecake.
He really wants you to go get hungry.
This is our master. This is our master in the show, man.
His cheesecake. Sorry. Yeah, this is how the show got. Here's how the show eventually turned into like food towards the end. It was like midnight, and Cliff was putting a meatloaf in the oven. Yeah. And he's like, the meatloaf. So I just put the meatloaf in the oven. It should be done in 45 minutes. We're like, what?
Yeah, it's like 10 after midnight, man. What are you doing, Cliff?
So then it just became.
It snowballed. It just snowballed.
Yeah,
Every week, the guy's making something, sending pictures in. So we spend the last 40 minutes talking food, and by the time that's over, it's 11 o'clock midnight where everybody's at, and everybody's running out to get something because we've been talking about food for 40 minutes.
Right?
So that's why Lester's even hungry. We didn't even show him any of the dishes. Man, if we would have showed you the burgers and everything these guys cook.
Oh yeah, yeah. If that happens, I would just say, "Oh, here it is. Come on, now what's this?"
Cheesesteak.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go find some leftovers when I go down. Probably an old hot dog laying around. I ain't got nothing downstairs. Ooh.
His son is a chef, and so therefore he's a chef.
Okay.
But probably got it from Cliff's been a lifelong great cook, so he's the chef of the show.
Here's another weird one, Lester. I know you got to run, but somebody's going to ask, man, I wonder what Lester's eating right now. Because it's like every guest that leaves this show after we talk about food, like 20, 40 minutes later, I'm laying. What was Joe Mandels? He's laying in bed, listening to the show, trying not to wake his wife. I forgot a BLT. He's eating a BLT at like 11:30 at night, man. So it happens all the time. So you might have to say, I had an old, I know it happens every time. If you can, maybe pop in and say, I had an old nasty hot dog, whatever, man. People ask. We got like, these guys know their football and they're all into the Bears. They're Bears fanatics. They put up with us every week, and they're just so involved in this stuff, and it's just an awesome thing, man. They throw all this stuff in with the food. Everybody's talking to it, man. So,
it's a good thing you came to the show without having eaten yet, because now you're ready to go.
Yeah, we'll see what I got. I think my wife made a frozen pizza earlier because it was kind of like a lazy day for them laying around. So we'll see what I get down there. It's either that or a hot dog. I don't know what I got here. So nothing like that, I'll tell you.
Seriously appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you.
Sure, man. It was fun. I had a good time.
Glad you had a good time. That's what we try to do here. Have a good time. Maybe that'll make you want to come back again sometime.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
Absolutely, man.
Thanks again, Lester, so much for coming, man.
Sure. Anytime.
Sorry, Cliff, we didn't get you your question, so I apologize.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lester. Thanks for one more thing, man, PJ. I kind of freaked out because I sent you that message a little late. I'm like, man, I hope this guy's not sleeping. So I wake up the next morning and he sent me an answer back at like 1:05 in the morning. So I'm like, what are you doing? Going through Bears stuff at 1:05 in the morning?
I mean, if it's the weekend, I'm a night owl on the weekend, so I probably just was on Twitter seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm that's good. It's all good. Yeah. I'm like I said, I pretty much jump on anybody's show. If anyone wants me to jump in, I'll kind of give them a hand. And like I always say, I think we're all playing in the same Bears sandbox. I don't see no reason to kind of if we can help everyone up and boost everyone up, and it just makes Bears fans smarter and better if we're all getting good quality content out there.
Absolutely.
Truly appreciate it,
man.
Anytime, guys.
I love all the content on the Windy City Gridiron, all the different writers you got.
Appreciate it.
I was going to bring up some articles because I just went through like 3 or 4 of them, especially one that I liked was the Greg Gabriel's.
Now it's him.
Thing. I'm done. Man. I was being quiet because I got all the stuff I was going to talk about. I've watched him talk about it over 3 shows in a row. So I was like,
okay. All right. So Lester, thank you for coming on the show. a blast having you on, and we'd love to have you on again. So
Sounds good.
Go enjoy your meal.
I will. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one.
See you later. I pulled the wrong one. There we go. You're just ranting on. You had to be pulled. You had to.
Absolutely. I said I was trying to say I should have muted myself like 5 minutes ago, man. But that guy's so personable, and I sat here just watching you guys like I'm like a normal thing where I'm sitting on my phone or my TV watching a YouTube thing with Lester on it because I just watched 3 of them. So I was just like sitting here going, yeah. Oh, definitely, man. You know, just like I'm in, like I am. I've always been. I'm in the chat watching, going, yeah, this guy's got some great points, man. I like that. I wanted to talk to him about Velus Jones, but I saw a show from, I think it was on the Rank Show, where he went through all that. So I didn't want him to have to repeat all that stuff because they had a good conversation about, you know, what they both thought about Velus. And I still think he's going to be something for us this year. I do. Punt returning, jet sweep, some nice big receptions, but time will tell.
Well, let me ask you guys a question that Cliff tried to ask Lester. What moves do you think Poles will do now, if any?
Offensive line. Maybe another offensive lineman.
What do we got left that we got to spend by April? Isn't it like 12 or 14 million still before we cannot get penalized? It's something like that. I haven't looked at it in a while, but before Ngakoue, it was like 22 or 24 million, I thought. So, I mean, we got to spend this money, and I'm going to agree with you. He's going to, you know, okay, so we got the thing with Davis. Maybe he goes out and tries and picks up another offensive lineman, whatever position that they, you know, feel that there might be an issue with. Because as Lester mentioned, and we've talked about it several times, is Dieter can play all 3 of those spots. So we know we've got one guy in there, and then Patrick can play guard. He didn't do great last year, but that might have been health issues. I don't know. But so what do we need? What don't we have, man? A tackle, another tackle. Try and make sure we have the best swing tackle available. We got 2 or 3 guys on the team, but I don't know who's going to be that swing tackle. Do you?
He's saying Dieter doesn't look like much in practice though.
I'm surprised to hear that.
A lot of the clips I've saw, for some reason, Dieter's always been on the sideline.
That's what I'm saying. So if Dieter's not stepping up, yeah, he may not be the guy that we thought he was.
He may not. I just think there's more to it. There's always something in preseason, in camp, and preseason where look at. So what do we have already? Claypool this year, Tevin Jenkins last. I mean, there's always something that we don't know. It's every year. And it's been going on forever, PJ. Think about it. There's always something.
Well, I'm just looking at the fact that what's really concerning for me as a Dieter fan is the fact that when they moved Patrick to guard, second string center was Kramer and not Dieter. So that's really concerning to me because I'm like, so where is Dieter falling in this? I mean, is he third string center / guard? Because
could Dieter have a little injury they're not telling anybody about, and they're just kind of working him in slow? Because he hasn't even been on with the first or second team in that. I thought for sure he'd be on the second team.
He hasn't been. I mean, he's been playing, I guess, on the third team, but he hasn't been playing on the second team.
And I'm saying it. They just gave him that little raise and the extension, you know. So I don't. Who knows? It doesn't seem natural. You look at last year; he was in on everything. He was the second best offensive lineman statistically in the preseason, and he got a lot of snaps in the preseason. So why is it such a difference from year to year? Did the team get that much better? Did he regress a little? You know, there's a few questions there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the fact that he's not out there is like he may not be as good as we thought he was. That's right. That's the point I'm making. It's like
you're right. I was going to read Retro's thing there.
You got Carter as well as Leatherwood ahead of him at the guard spot, even Lucas Patrick. So.
You guys want to? We got We got Brian and Walt waiting in the background. You want to bring them on for shoot the shit?
Absolutely, man.
Let's bring them on.
I have an
Absolutely.
awesome graphic that Walter made. I totally forgot to pull up, amongst other things.
See, now I'm going to start saying freaking Dan.
All right, let's shoot the shit.
To answer Doug Van Doren's question real quick, wasn't Dieter Iceland, or was a Dieter on the practice squad for at least some of last year? He spent most of last year on the practice squad. We made him active later on, but because of the rule where you could pull up 2 guys from the practice squad, we pulled him up from the practice squad pretty regularly. Then we actually added him to our active roster towards the last part of last year.
Yeah. I think wasn't he on it for like the last 4 or 5 games, the active roster?
Yeah.
Maybe 6 even, something like that.
Yeah.
What's up, Walt and Brian? What are you guys doing?
Well,
let's throw this, since we started it, let's throw this at Walt and Brian.
I'm going to go get some more water. I'll be right back.
Oh, crap. No, I'm joking. Because Cliff asked, you guys think Poles will make more moves? What's he saying?
I said, I'll come back to wrap up.
I'm using
what was that, Foster?
So Cliff was asking us, and we started answering it. We kind of finished, but I mean, do you guys think Poles will make more moves? And what kind of moves is he going to make? Defensive line, defensive end, offensive tackle? He specifically was asking about defensive end and offensive tackle because those are still probably 2 of our weaker points. You know, we've got a pile of guards and stuff, but we don't even know what we got yet.
Yeah, I mean, defensive end's still a big question mark. We just, spend money, got Yannick and Ngakoue, yes, but there's a whole other side of the line we got to look at. I'm hoping guys like Anthony Jones and Terrell Lewis are able to step up and fill that void.
Lewis,
like I was talking with a few people here, he might even beat Rasheem Green out for the starting spot if he continues his high level of play.
Yeah. He's moving up the depth charts fast. They got him playing a lot with the 1s, and when he's not, he's with the 2s.
Offensive line wise, I might be in the minority here, but I think our depth is actually pretty good.
I was saying that on Dead Graybill a couple of weeks ago, and people are telling me we don't know exactly what it is, and I agree with that to a point, but I just look at the names in the room, and that doesn't even mean everything because names don't mean everything, but I kind of have an idea, and I've seen their college tape and what they've done in the pros with like Leatherwood and Carter and Kellen Deesh. They got him playing right tackle on the second team, is it?
I heard he's on the third team now.
Okay, mate. See, there's gonna and Poles and Flus even said this. There's gonna be some jockeying here. Don't go with what you're seeing right now because they're moving guys around, making to see what pieces fit the best. And they did the same thing last year.
They said they got a rookie playing the left tackle on the second team right now. I forgot the name. It's an undrafted rookie.
Yeah, UDFA. There's one on offense, and then there's another one defensive endish. I'm just going by stuff I've seen. All the film that's been floating around. There's been a lot of it this year, which I'm happy to see because they pretty tight on they won't let you do crap from what I'm hearing at Hallis Hall. Now I'm going down to Indy for 2 days.
You can record.
Right.
You can record it.
Me and Swifty are going to try. I'm going with Swifty. We're going to try and get as much as we can from both sides of the field on everything. We had a little discussion today, and then we'll bring it all in together and we'll hang out and discuss this stuff. So that's going to be cool. I'm hoping that I can do my job on this one and get what we need, man. Get what the fans want to see.
Well, more than anything, I think we really want to see an active or an accurate report of the depth chart because we hear things about Lewis. I heard a lot of things about Lewis that makes me say, okay, so where is Green? Where is Travis in this whole scheme of things? Because now that Walker's out, because I envisioned that Walker would start at defensive end, then on pass rush downs he'd go to the 3 technique, and now Yannick would be the edge or the defensive end in those scenarios. But so where is everybody else fitting at? That's
Yeah.
that's what I really want to see.
Hopefully, because that's near the end of the preseason, we'll have a much better idea, and we'll be able to get some footage and, a better look at the depth chart on both sides of the ball. And then we skipped Brian. Brian never got to answer the question. My bad.
Okay, it's all good. So to
screw
answer
you,
your
Brian.
question,
Screw you. Don't answer it now.
so to answer, yeah. Hey, well, first off, I really do appreciate the time you given me, and I'm sorry that I asked so many questions, but
Okay.
when you go, it's like, man.
Hey,
But anyways,
I had to fuck with you,
Yeah.
It's all good.
But to answer your question, so I understand the whole we got a bunch of players in the room and everything, and we should have a decent depth. My only real nervousness is we got a second year left tackle, we got a first year right tackle, and our second year left tackle made it through the whole year without any problems.
Yeah.
That's not normal. It just isn't. You're gonna have those times where you're gonna need someone to fill in, and who's that gonna be? Are you gonna trust that Borum is just gonna magically fill that spot and be half of what the other two tackles are projected to be? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I could possibly see another tackle getting signed just for insurance purposes. You know what I'm saying? And then also I could also see another defensive end. What's the guy that he played with Kansas City and then he played with Indy?
Justin
Houston.
Houston, yeah. I could see him if he's on the cheap. You know what I'm saying? That does not hurt. That does not hurt your future plans at all.
Right.
If he's cheap, that only helps your team.
Well, now we know about where he's going to be salaried now just because of where Ngakoue played, and we were actually just discussing it. Houston's probably a little step up. He can play the run a little bit, and he's a better pass rusher. Well, he was. He's probably the older guy. He's what, 33 now, 34?
34.
Yeah. So I mean, but man, what if he grabbed him too for a year?
Right.
Because they could do it, but they'd probably be done signing. They'd be out of money or right there within the realm.
Well,
we still got all these guys are going to be cut right before the season, man. I mean, there's going to be a bunch of stuff happening in the next 2 weeks.
You also have to remember he's probably leaving some money on the table in case he wants to sign one of those wide receivers that, we have to re-sign or we're going to be looking elsewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that he signed Ngakoue for that much.
10 million?
Yeah, 10.5. I'm surprised.
And just to go off of Ngakoue, this is just my personal opinion. Ngakoue is second and long, third and more than 5. That's the downs he's going to be in.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be rushing the passer. That's the only downs he's going to be in. I cannot see him being in on first down when, there's going to be a good chance that it's split 50-50 run pass, you know what I'm saying? Or second and short, third and short. He's not going to be in there. This is going to be a rotation. You can feel this. It's going to be a rotation.
It's going to be interesting when it come cut time because, as my name states, I'm a real homer of our own drafted players, and Travis Gibson not really showing up. He looked like he's a cut candidate, given the fact that we signed Ngakoue in the way Lewis is showing up in a training camp right now. So,
or maybe you get some trade value out of it. You know what I'm saying? Someone's got to like him. Someone with a 3-4 defense. You know what I'm saying? Because that's
Ryan Pace to get him down there in Atlanta.
He might. He knows him. He knows him.
Yeah.
I guess that's a pretty good time to bring up a. You guys get that lull like that. Let's see here. Which of the first round busts had the shortest tenure in Chicago with the Bears? A. Cedric Benson, B. Kevin White, C. Cade McNown, or D. Curtis Enos? Which first round bust had the shortest tenure?
C. Cade McNown.
What do you guys think in chat? What do you think, Walter?
I'm gonna go with D on this one.
That was my second guess right there.
Curtis Enos.
It's one of those two, I believe.
I want to say Kevin White just because of the injury. Like, it wasn't anything that he did wrong. It was just, he got hurt.
Kevin White, is that your answer?
Yep.
I'm going to go with it's definitely between Cade McNown and Curtis Enos.
Yes.
I'm going to say Cade McNown. Cliff is saying Enos.
All right. Who you got, Foster?
All right. It's C or D, but I'm going to say Cedric Benson.
Not at all.
Wow. No.
Doug Van Dorn is saying McNown as well.
Yeah, that's who it is, probably.
Well,
Because White hung around a bit because of the damn injuries.
Well, White was here for 4 years.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He
was
hung
here
around
for
a bit
4
with
years.
those injuries.
And I believe Benson was here for 4 years.
Was it 4? I was thinking 3, and then I can't remember if the other guys were here for 2 or 3 years because that's about it.
Yeah, that's why I say I went with McNown, but I'm with Walt as well.
I was
think
going
it could
Cade
be-
McNown off the bat. You guys picked the other ones, and that's why I'm just going to still say A.
Could be Enos. Mo Bierman saying Enos.
What does Mo Bierman know? Damn it!
McNown.
Who did you say, Walt?
D. I recognize the other 3 names. I don't know who this other guy is. So
Who?
Curtis Enos.
You don't know him? He was a running back. Number
Yeah, he was
44
a running back on the Bears, man.
from Penn State.
And strangely enough, he blew out his knee, but he finished the game on a blown out knee. And he was seen kneeling on it on the sideline after he had blown it out.
He was from Penn State.
Yeah, he was actually okay, if I remember correctly, till that
Number
injury.
44.
He was supposed to be something good.
He was number 44. Then he changed his number to number 39, I believe. So
Yes.
Yeah. The old Robin Earl.
yeah.
The answer is Cade McNown.
Yeah. That was just terrible. That was just a terrible.
I think Enos was 3 years and McNown was 2.
That's probably what it is, man. That's probably what it is.
McNown was horrible.
I just couldn't believe it. I'm going, what the frick are we doing with this guy?
Yeah, we got him the same year we got that Haynes. That was a horrible draft for us.
Oh.
Like we drafted Haynes and him in the first round of the year, and neither one of them done anything for us.
Just brilliant.
You guys want to do one more?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I love this shit stuff.
Which position have the Bears drafted most in the first round? A, defensive end. B, offensive tackle. C, running back. Or D, offensive guard. Which position have the Bears drafted most in the first round?
That's a good question.
Wow.
Offensive tackle, running back, or guard?
Well, how many running backs have they gotten in the first round? Do you know?
Off the top of my head, I can only think of
Benson,
Walter Payton, Benson, Enos, and
yeah.
Sayers.
Gail Sayers.
Was Grange?
Bronco Nagurski.
Red Grange, maybe?
Red Grange.
Okay. Yeah.
So where are we at? 6?
I'll say running back. Yeah, that's good. You're running back.
And I'm gonna say, after saying that, I'm gonna say offensive tackle.
I only think of 3: Karimi, Williams, and the guy we got now.
Yeah, but I think there's like 6 or 7 more in the 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm going with offensive guard.
Yeah, it could be too. I just
Offensive guard.
Cliff says these questions suck.
Why? Because they're hard and challenging. Cliff?
Better one. Let's see. We have Eduardo Miguel saying C, running back. Doug Van Dorn says B, offensive tackle. Mr. Mayhem says A, defensive end. Retro says A, defensive end. Cliff says these questions suck, and Mo Bierman says C.
It could be defensive end too, because what Hallis did for 45, 50 years was always build up the defense and the running back position. Because he always said, for a quarterback, it don't matter. You need a game manager. And you can always make an offensive lineman, but to get the natural ability at defense, you get that killer defense, and you've got 1 foot already on their throat.
Come on, Foster. Stick to one answer, will you?
I did. Offensive tackle. I'm just stating facts.
He wants to be right, you know.
I'm used to not being right. I've been doing it for like 273 years, Shorty. Or was it 372, you fucker?
I thought it was like 472.
He's adding 100 years every week. What are you doing, Peach? Peach, tell him you took 100 off me that 1 week when I shaved the vagina.
Oh, that was very strange to see that.
Yeah, well.
So I'm going with running back.
Let's go offensive tackle. What'd you say, Shorty? Guard?
I said guard. What'd you say? Well,
I'm going to go running back.
All right. The answer is running back.
Oh, wow.
2 for 2, baby. Me and Walt is on it.
Damn.
After I had to name 4 more of them.
Well, you know, when you start thinking about it, people, in the early,
shit.
Just
shut the fuck up and go on with the show.
Early on in football, that was the number 1 picks. Always was the running backs. So,
always for the first 70 years of the NFL, man.
Well, I just remember there was a draft. The Bears took 2 in the first round, so that's why I went with it.
Nice. What draft? Who was it? Do you remember?
I don't. I can't remember if it was in the 30s or the 40s.
That wasn't Gale Sayers and Brian Bigelow, was it?
No, they went like running back, fullback, I think.
Yeah, that don't surprise me at all because that T formation, dude.
I have one more from last week that I never used, I think. Did we do this one last week? I don't think we did.
Nope. Well,
Which of these Bears never ran for 200 yards in a game for the Bears? So which of these players never ran for 200 yards in a game for the Bears? A, Gale Sayers. B, Walter Payton. C, Matt Forte. D, Thomas Jones.
Freaking Peyton did it like 6 or 7 times in 77. So I know that's out.
Thomas Jones did it.
I want to say Forte because he was receiver and running.
Who you got, Walt?
I'm gonna go A just to be different.
See, I was going to say A, man. You just copied off.
That's what I'm going to, Walt. Gale Sayers. It would make sense out of all the crap the guy did and how many yards he got doing kickoff and punt returns and catching the ball and rushing. It wouldn't surprise me if he never got 200 yards rushing in one game.
Exactly.
It's definitely him or Jones. We know that.
You guys, are those your answers?
I'm going A.
What was your answer, Shorty?
I'm going to go with Matt Forte.
Yeah, the reason why I say Forte is because he would get 200 yards, but it would be a combined. It would be receiving and rushing.
Yeah.
Well, I see people in the chat going with.
Retro says D. D, which is Thomas Jones. Doug Van Dorn says G. D, Thomas Jones. Let's see. Eduardo says C. Matt Forte. Mayhem says C. Mo Bierman says C. I'm going to go with C as well. Let's see. What is the answer? Thomas Jones. It's D.
Oh, wow.
Wait, didn't we say Matt Forte had a 200-yard game? Somebody even said it.
Huh.
I don't remember that. I thought
Because I said it's down between Sayers and Jones.
Hmm.
Oh, well.
I got the first one wrong.
I was 1 for 2.
I think you should leave, PJ. Storm off and whine because you missed one.
Cliff wins.
Man.
Speaking of Cliff, let's take a look at this again.
Dude, remember you guys suck because I took a nap and never got to eat dinner.
Oh man.
I'm gonna go get a BLT and lay in bed and pet my dog.
You guys care if I show you something?
Oh.
Don't flash this, dude.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. Foster was just talking about petting his dog. He doesn't have. And now Ryan wants to show us something.
So then show PJ again. Where is his mind going again? DICK. What the? Does Kitty know about this shit?
No.
I'm just saying. He like, I want to show you guys something. What? Wait, what?
I got. Before you
quick,
show
Brian, did you see your name? Look at your name.
Oh, I can't see it, honestly.
It says AKA King Kong Bundy because a couple of guys said, man, you kind of look like King Kong Bundy in the shot there.
Oh, no.
The wrestler.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
It wasn't a couple of guys said it was just retro.
Oh, okay. So I agreed with them. I think that's the two guys. It's probably
that's 2 guys. Okay.
Yeah. Well, here it's 7 more.
What? How about the fighter in Mike Tyson? That one fighter in Mike Tyson Punch Out. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I don't, man.
I can't think of his name.
It's a game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever played Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
Only in real life.
Retro says I was
before Mike Tyson fought.
Raging Oracle. Welcome to the show.
King Hippo. That's what it was.
Where's Raging Oracle been, man? You okay, dude?
Yeah, what's up, Raging? Nice to see you again.
He's in one of the poems too, man.
He's saying
the Raging Oracle that is football.
He's helping us with the answer for the Mike Tyson Punch-Out game. Bald Bull.
Okay, cool. That's the only reason he showed up tonight was to give us that answer. Thanks, Raging.
Soda Popinski, no. He would need
Eduardo. Is that a character too, Dan? Soda Popinski?
Yeah, you never. Oh God, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on Nintendo was.
Dude, I still have Nintendo 8-bit, dude. I'm still playing Super Tecmo Bowl from 1991.
That was the game right there.
Well, you got to get Mike Tyson's Punch-Out for that then.
Oh, that's that old?
Yes, it's for the original system.
I probably played it then.
Yeah.
For the record, Cliff, I'm not planning on going, but if I do, I'll see you there.
Make sure to bring some of your cooking too, because it ain't too good in there.
Right.
Food, I mean.
Retro is paying $2 to insult. He's saying it's King Hippo.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Hungry.
Oh,
Hippo.
no,
I remember that game.
The Bald Bull was
the guy that bounced 3 times and then he charged.
Yeah.
Oh, I seen that game.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, Brian, I'm going, yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
I don't know the names.
Penske had the big wind up, and he would it was a big uppercut.
I've seen it.
That game was fun. That was a great time. That when that system came out.
Yeah. We used to. There was 4 of us, and we'd play a whole season on a Sunday, man. In the off season, we'd pick a team. Sometimes we take the division with 4, the AFC West. Loved that game, man. Loved it.
Cliff says I gave up on video games and I became an adult.
That's like next month. That's like next month, Cliff.
Some of us never became adults.
Not till they bury me. I don't want to do that kind of crap.
Last
Can you guys see this?
Oh yeah, this is what you wanted to show us.
This is vegetable beef soup that my wife made. This is the supper of the far north. So
There, let's,
Switch it.
there you go. Here, put it back.
Yeah, show that again, man.
You put it back.
hang on just 1 second.
I was gonna say,
You
show
got the
that
screen.
again, man.
Working on it. Sorry.
I agree. I'm with you, Swifty. I don't even know what I want to do when I grow up.
In the world
Oh,
is that?
Vegetable beef soup.
That looks really good, man.
That looks delicious.
It's a southwestern style too, with the corn and the green beans and the. I could eat that.
Brian, if you ever in your life talk about my fish and spaghetti again, we're fighting.
Wait a second.
We're fighting.
Wait
Yeah,
a
but
second.
everybody in the country eats that shit, Peach. Not the fish and spaghetti.
Hold on a second. Wait, you mean to tell me that you never had beef and vegetable soup?
He's trying to do your voice.
Not like that. Man.
You're missing out. You're missing out.
It's good stuff, man. If you like steak or any type of beef, because you always get it cooked so tender, and you get all the flavor in that every time with that stuff.
And you get that flavor from the bone too.
Yeah.
No,
Did she crock pot that, or was it in the oven?
No, she had it on a pot. Yeah.
In the
You
clear.
can do it. You can cook it anyway. You just do it slow.
That's
and
beef
longer,
broth.
and it's
That's
great.
beef broth.
Yeah, I could tell that.
Beef broth is not clear.
Yeah, it is.
It is with some tint of brown if you took a spoonful of it out. PJ.
It wasn't clear.
This guy just started cooking 2 years ago and he knows what beef broth is.
Look, Brian, you're gonna hang out with Paulsky. You and Paulsky need to get together with that fish jello and this beef stew that you got here, because both of y'all on the same line. I'm just telling you. Y'all need to work.
Hey, now,
soup.
if we ever meet up and I give you some, you're gonna eat your words.
Yep,
You're definitely gonna eat your words.
I will eat my words before I eat that beef stew. I'm trying to tell you.
Man, you don't know what you're missing, dude.
Well, yeah, I do.
Soup.
Yeah, I do. I know what I'm missing.
I want to know what the hell Walter's thinking right now as he's sitting there with that grin on his face.
Soup looked fine. You know, nothing wrong with that. I don't know what PJ's problem is.
Fish and spaghetti.
The broth was clear. That's my problem. The broth was clear.
It happens. It depends on if, I mean, is it a homemade beef broth or did you buy it from the store?
Homemade.
No, it came right off the bone. It's beef broth.
Yeah.
Yes, but did you cook it in a stock pot and cook it down that way with the vegetables? Okay.
Yep.
And yeah, you're more likely going to get a clear broth.
A clear-ish broth.
Yeah, it's not going to
Hey,
be
Pete, you
translucent.
can learn here. You can learn stuff here if you pay attention, man. Especially about. Did he take himself out? Did he pull himself out?
He pulled himself out. No. You're sticking around for this. You're not pulling yourself out.
You don't get off that easy.
What? What?
Hey, just because we don't put fish in our soup doesn't mean it's not good.
We're gonna get this all mixed up with gelatin and soup and spaghetti and fish. Screw it all up.
I think that
Yeah.
looks
I don't know, dog. That looked like something Retro would eat. Where Retro at? I bet you he probably eating rabbit soup somewhere right now. So where's Retro?
PJ changing the narrative again, shifting shit.
Of course.
Oh, Retro's right here insulting you, saying, looking at PJ, there's not much he won't eat.
You won't see me eating no rabbit soup like Retro. Retro eats rabbit soup and calls it gumbo.
Oh, gumbo. Speaking of that, we're going to New Orleans for Thanksgiving. Oh, that's going to be amazing. Their gumbo. Oh, so good. I can't wait. You guys ever been in New Orleans?
No. I got close once, but never made it. It's a story for another time because it's long.
So stood in line for 2 hours to go to Acme Oyster Bar. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, well, we won't talk about New Orleans.
Retro says he don't need rabbit. It's just wascally.
Wascally.
I wanted to pull up this badass graphic that you made for the show. Well, I'm sorry that I did not bring it up earlier. I meant to pull it up right with the in the beginning. This is badass, dude. Look at this.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. That is
Nice water.
Now, can you guys read that?
Not at all.
No.
See,
Told you, Walt.
I can read this.
Credit belongs to the man.
If you strain your eyes, you can read it.
Well, he's young, so he probably can read
It's
it.
full screen and I can read it.
Well,
You
yeah,
don't need up your prescriptions or something.
he's young.
They
got those
can't
young
fix
guys.
our eyes anymore, dude. They're at the end, all three of us.
I was gonna say, he got those young guys. He can read that.
That is badass, though, man.
It is.
Yeah,
It is. I was
You
going to
probably
ask
can
you,
look
where,
at it, map,
where
and
can
see
you,
people
where can
waving
you
at
see
it.
that? Where can I take a picture of it and save it? On this show?
I can mail it to you.
Yeah, throw me an email whenever. No
It's like
biggie.
make that the background or something. That's freaking
I
awesome.
want to blow it up and put it on the back of my car and drive to Green Bay in a couple weeks. Dude, I'm going to do something goofy up there because I'm going back up there again.
Oh my god.
No, water. That is very nice.
It is, man.
You really
Yeah,
good.
If you want the background, Shorty, I could just remove the Justin Fields and send that off to you.
Now, Swifty did make a good point though.
Yeah, that'll work. I could try them both.
Yeah.
Sorry, PJ.
Swifty said that how are we talking about rabbit stew and not Yannick?
Because it's BCP, man. Bears Country Food.
I'll try to tell you.
With a PHOOD.
Yeah, food with a pH. Yeah.
Right.
Man.
We can go back. We could talk about Ngakoue a ton. How many weeks have we brought him up in a row?
Yeah.
Hey, but he's now a Bear though.
He is now
I
a Bear.
like the move. I like the move. I would have been more disappointed if we didn't make a move than
Right. Right.
or got some scrub off of the scrap heap. You know what I'm saying?
Start pulling up last year's roster and looking at it and pulling one of them guys would just suck.
I like what Lester was saying about if we had brought on Justin Houston, because he would offer the veteran leadership to a young defensive line, and with that, he's not looking to take someone's job. He's looking to help the youngsters probably more than anything, because he knows he's going to be playing as much as possible.
Right.
But that being said, he's also 34 years old.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'd rather take Yannick on a 1-year deal.
You know what? Poles made the move.
You just
man.
have to know who you're signing and what you're
Yeah.
using him for. You know what I'm saying?
Poles and Flus know exactly what this guy is. There's plenty of tape
Right.
on him. And they're going to use him
Exactly.
to the best of his ability. That'll help the defensive line. That's my theory on it.
Yeah.
They've looked
Yep.
around.
And
They've
he-
looked around. I'm sure they looked at Houston. We know they did.
And he's not going to be unhappy, with his $10 million that he's got.
Right.
Even if he isn't playing every down, he's going to be just as happy with that, whether he's playing every down or not.
Lester said it, and I think he's right. Now he's probably going to play 50 to 60% of the down. He's not going to be in there on first down unless you get a penalty and it's 1st and 20 and they're behind. There's going to be those situations that you come across, and Flus will make the adjustments he's got to make the team better. That's
Right.
God willing. What's your take, Walt?
I think it's a good signing. I don't think he's the most complete player, but I mean, at this point in his career, you know what you're getting when you sign a guy like this, which is why I broached the question earlier. Why do you think he jumped around so much? I mean, I understand maybe the first couple years of his contract, but after that, these teams signing him and trading for him, they know what they're getting. They're not stupid.
Yes.
I think the reason why he jumped
has
around
bounced
so much
because just like the Bears have a need this year, he's filling it temporarily,
Yeah.
and he did that in what with the Panthers, and he did it with the Colts, and down the line. That's why he hasn't stuck. We know exactly what he is.
Right.
Maybe
And he
you
hasn't-
change something and get a couple of years out of him where he's super productive. Who knows? The system. Change
He's
his
worked
mental
on-
attitude, his
yeah.
heart, whatever it takes. Hope for
He's
the
worked
best.
on
All
one
of
thing, his pass rushing. You know, that's what he does, and that's
Yep.
what he does good. He's not working on run stopping because he wants the sack. He wants
Yeah.
the numbers.
That's
With
true.
being said, I say the Bears going to be the first team to resign.
Say that what?
I said, with that being said, I think the Bears is going to be the first team to re-sign him.
PJ's going out on the ledge with his fish and spaghetti there.
I want to say that he was with Jacksonville like a couple of years. So I
That
mean,
was his rookie contract.
oh, okay, yeah, I guess.
So
I got you.
Bears will be the first team to re-sign him.
I got you.
I mean, he can prove us all wrong and be able to stop the run for once in his life too.
Right.
We'll wait
I
and
mean,
see.
he could learn from Flus, you know, and Flus could, or you know, Flus and Williams. But I'm just saying, like they could put some stuff in there and say, hey, you want to make more than what you're making now?
Yeah.
Here's how you do it.
Yeah.
Well, he did play, 70% of the snaps last year?
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
So he was obviously on some run plays. So
Another thing is too, how quickly do you think he's going to be at practice?
Yeah.
You would hope so.
Is he going to show up tomorrow?
Well,
You would hope so.
if I'm him, I'm just going to put myself in his shoes. With my mentality, it's going to be messed up. But I'm going, all right, man, I've been around this league a little bit. I keep bouncing around because everybody knows I rush the passer. I want the sack and give me money for it. Don't care about the run. Well, crap, I got a bunch of money now. I don't have a freaking ring. I want a ring. So I'm going to take the time to be the player here in Chicago. I want to finish my career out here and get a couple of Super Bowls with Justin because it's a great opportunity to do it. So I'm going to change my game and I'm going to make the adjustment that the coaches want me to make. And I'm going to be more active in this run game and try and improve my game.
Well,
how old is he? 28, 29?
Yeah.
You know, there's only so many more contracts he's got with these one-year deals he's got coming.
Well, I'll say this also. I say that I don't know what other systems he played in, but we are one gap system. So being one gap, that allows him to shoot his gap and only be responsible for his gap only, to where he can probably make more plays.
What?
Let's get the chat here. What Doug Van Dorn's saying. Ngakoue has also played edge in the Tampa 2 before. He knows the system, so it was okay to wait a while to sign him. It was not worth seeing if any better options popped up, but they didn't. That's a great point.
Well, and to piggyback off of what Foster said, what is his best way of being re-signed? You know, impress the people that signed you in the first place. If you want to be re-signed, you're going to do everything in your ability to make sure you impress the coach that signed you this year. I mean, I'm sure he's attempted that before, but for whatever reason,
what would 19 or 26 on the season do for him?
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
What would 11 do?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm trying to figure out, when did he play in a Tampa 2 system before?
In Tampa?
You got to count the 8 teams he was on before that. I don't know.
I know he was in Oakland. He was in Oakland. He was in Jacksonville. Neither one of those.
With the Colts. With the
Colts didn't play it when he was there with the Colts. He was there with Gus Bradley.
Yeah.
I
was going to ask you what system were they running last year with him?
What was he at last year?
Ngakoue?
Yeah.
Panthers, Colts?
Yeah, I think it was Indianapolis last year.
Panthers.
Okay.
I don't know what their defense was last year. I didn't really, follow
that's your
them.
4-3 right there.
To answer Doug Van Dorn here, when Yannick was in Indy, he was with Gus Bradley. Gus Bradley does not run a Tampa 2.
Okay.
Gus Bradley was with him when he was in Jacksonville. That's
like he followed Gus around.
Yeah, that's the connection. And Gus Bradley runs the defense that Seattle was running for so long. So they do not run a Tampa 2.
Doug's saying that Yannick was with the Colts last year.
And they did not run a Tampa 2 last year.
Right.
See, that's what I was asking. Just what system was he in last year? I couldn't read.
So I'm thinking this may be the first year that he's actually going to play in a Tampa 2, where you're playing the one gap system.
There's got to be a reason that they chose him, because they did, we could have got Houston. It's got to be something to do with that. I got to go with it.
Yeah,
I'm happy with it. I mean, we needed someone there. I didn't want to go into the season relying on Gibson and Dominic Robinson to take the next step.
Like we've all stated, we know exactly what he is and what we're getting, and if there's improvements on that, that's gravy. It's gravy.
And then on top of that, like you have
gravy.
Walker, who's out right now. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with him, but you got that as well.
Yeah.
Doug Van Dorn saying, "Thanks for the update, PJ."
Yeah, I'm just trying to honestly just remember. I don't remember him ever playing in a Tampa 2. I mean, I'm not saying he's not good. Don't get me wrong. I just know he was in Minnesota, but I don't think Minnesota played a Tampa 2, if I remember correctly. They didn't when he was there.
I don't think they did either.
They're more of a 3-4 anyways.
Yeah, because I know.
You know any of this, Walter?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to look it up now.
You know this, Walter?
Because I'm talking about what the defense has played. The guy's more intelligent than you.
Yeah, he was with the Baltimore Ravens.
They did not play Ravens.
Yeah, they're a 3-4 all the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, that 1 year he was with the Ravens as well as the Vikings, and I don't believe either one of them played a Tampa 2. I know what Ravens did.
Raging Oracle says, issue is, can he, Ngakoue, produce without that dominant interior? That's the real question. Well, are we sure we don't have a dominant interior this year?
Well, that's why I say I think he will do well here.
Right.
Enough for us to re-sign him because of the interior that we do have. Because, like I said, with the man-child Dexter, Trevon Dexter. Yeah, him pushing up the middle, force, not allow the quarterback to step up, which can get Yannick his sacks, or you got Walker who will move in on passing downs to the 3 technique. He'll push up the middle to again force Yannick to be able to get a sack on the outside. So that's why I'm going out and making a bold prediction that he'll get resigned.
It could have been the Vikings.
That's really good, man. That's really good, Pete. I think because Gervon's been playing the 1 and the 3. I don't know if you guys saw that. They showed a bunch of film him playing both.
Yeah.
I really think we're going to be decent on the interior, man. If these guys could develop a little quicker than normal, and I think Gervon is going to be something special. I got that feeling. I think Pickens is going to need more development.
To answer Walter though, when he was in with the Vikings, he played under the guy from the defensive coordinator from Dallas, the longtime guy, Zimmer.
Oh,
Zimmer
does not run a Tampa 2.
If it's a possibility, though, I know the Vikings ran Tampa 2 most of the 2000s, and they're one of the only 2 teams that run it now.
Vikings ran a Tampa 2 when they had Frazier as the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Under Zimmer, they did not run the Tampa 2. They ran what they ran in Dallas back when Dallas won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, out of that list of teams, it's the only one that makes sense, either the Vikings or Baltimore.
Yeah, I know Baltimore didn't run the Tampa 2, and I know, but like I said, the Vikings, they was under Zimmer, so they didn't either.
So there you have it. The first 4 years he was with Jacksonville, and the next year he went to Minnesota, and he was traded to Baltimore.
Right.
And then he went to Las Vegas, and then Indy.
Yeah. So
Indy was still a 4-3 last year, though, weren't they?
No, yeah, because they was running Gus Bradley, the Seattle's defense. That's not the Tampa 2, though.
Well, fuck me running.
Oh boy.
What the hell, man? Something wrong with these guys on this show. At least one of them. Well, two. What the heck what were you doing there?
Oh, me?
I thought you were going to pull up some stats or something, Dan.
I just had him up.
Okay.
Here. They're right here.
Yeah.
They're right here. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. He had
At least the guy's playing 15, 16, 17 games a season.
Exactly.
You know, that's pretty critical. We always talk about the injury.
Mm-hmm.
He's staying healthy.
Mm-hmm. And he's got
something else?
Wait,
You know something else?
Brian?
I said he's one of the very few that's been consistent over his whole career as far as sacks goes.
Yeah.
I heard this on another podcast somewhere that he is one of maybe I think 5 or 6 players that have held the sack numbers that they've held their whole career.
Yeah, what is it, like 9.5 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
I can't add all these up, but I thought I heard 9.5, average 9.5 every damn season.
And really, that's not bad, you know?
Well, he's never had less than 8 in the season.
We should. I mean, it'd be great to have somebody do that this year that we know is going to do it for sure. Because who had what last year?
Yeah, Brisker was our leading sack leader.
Yeah.
You know? You really don't want that.
No.
I'd like Brisker to have sacks,
what
but I don't want him to be the leader.
Yeah.
Well, Foster, we're going on 2 hours here. You wanted to keep the show to 2 hours tonight.
I'm good now, dude. I drank some pineapple Doritos, so whatever you guys want to do. And I got a 3-hour nap in. I nibbled. I got plenty of water and juices here, so whatever. I'm good.
I still think that
at that time I was like,
Bears will still be drafting a defensive end next year, though.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 of them.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 of them.
Yep.
They've got the picks for it. We know what we need.
If the Panthers end up with the first pick in the draft, which is possible,
It could happen.
boy, there's so much we can do with that.
We can be set up pretty again.
Poles be trading and loading up for the next year and the next year, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's crazy. That would be very crazy.
Unless there's that one guy
Right.
that, stands out totally that I got to have this guy. But
right.
he just, I love the way he works the draft.
Marvin Harrison
I've been
Jr.
training for that shit for 15, 20 years, man.
But I think
But you know when you say that though, I don't read Poles as oh my goodness, that guy I have to have. He's one of those type of people that are okay, I can drop down a couple spots and get equal or the same, better or the same or equal, you know what I'm saying? That's the way I read him.
He definitely is going to make an improvement with whatever he does when he does that stuff.
Yeah.
Dropping back. Okay.
He's all about value.
Pick up an extra 4th, and I'm going to get my guy anyway.
Raging Oracle is saying Yannick was not the first option for OCs to double on that line. That's the concern. Opponents had to worry about that interior before they got to Yannick.
On which team?
All of them.
Well, my rebuttal to that. What are teams going to do with Billings and with Dexter? They're not going to single them. You know that, right?
Right.
Who's the guy they're going to double? Because Gibson was the 5th most double defensive end in the league last year.
Billings and Dexter. They're going to be the ones that are going to get doubled.
They're going to have to, especially the way Billings. Did you see what Cody Whitehair did to him yesterday? To Billings. He picked him up, got underneath him, and picked him up and just threw him backwards. I couldn't believe it.
Oh wow!
Really?
Cody Whitehair still got that country strength, man. I know it was only one point, but they were battling all day yesterday. And when I saw him come off the line, they showed it. I was like, oh my God. He made him look like it was somebody on the team from last year. It kind of scared me for a moment. I'm like, wait a minute. If Whitehair's doing this to him, but But you go look at what he did last year with the Raiders, and you could see what kind of guy he is, man.
Billings is a
I'm sure he ain't
strong
gonna forget
man.
that. I'd like to see. I didn't see anything of what happened today, or
Well, there was no practice today.
in that battle. I'm going to be watching that continuously as we go through the preseason here, because it was a little like back in the day where it was a little not fighting, but they got a little antsy with each other, a little uppity with each other, man.
Billings is a strong man, though.
Mhm.
He is very
He's
strong.
built low. He's built low.
Benching 500 pounds.
6'1".
What? Well,
Oh no, you were saying the practice today. There was no practice today. That's all I was saying.
that's why I didn't see the highlights. I was sleeping too. I was sleeping all afternoon, man. I told these guys, yeah, I'm going to take a nap. I'll be up at like 6:15. Give me a shot. They're calling me at 10 after. Dude, are you even alive? What's going on? I'm drooling on myself in the basement.
Do you hear what you guys see what STC is saying about PJ?
Yeah.
PJ Walker.
Yeah. I thought he was talking about you at first.
Oh
PJ's
no!
not looking great.
Oh no!
You know I always look great, man. Stop playing with yourself.
I was like, wow,
Why is
STC
PJ bringing up some bad shit about himself?
too now.
How does he know what PJ's looking like?
No, I think I wouldn't be surprised. What do you guys think about what is it? Teddy Bridgewater?
Bridgewater?
Yeah.
What about him?
If PJ is not the guy
What, this
The guy
season?
for what?
to back up for the
You
back.
don't need him to do anything. He can just sit there all season, God willing. Justin Fields is going to hurt.
Well, you have a
got
winning
more.
quarterback.
I think he's going to be okay. It's probably more just a familiarity with these guys. How long has he worked with these guys?
Yeah.
3 weeks?
And it's a new system for him as well.
I thought, what were they running last year in Carolina offensively? Anybody know?
No.
Matt
I
Rule.
don't know.
Because I'm trying to remember the head coach.
Shit.
Wasn't it Matt Rule? No, that was the year before, right?
Yeah, this
Totally
coach wasn't.
kind of totally just ignored them until we got DJ Moore, honestly.
The head
got
coach was like their defensive coordinator or something, wasn't he? From
No, I
the
thought-
previous year?
I thought their head coach came from college or something.
I don't know. I just like
It
the fact
was
that
Matt
DJ
Rule.
is
It
so
was Matt Rule
field
for
type.
a minute.
But he was a money.
Bearski's already got the Yannick video going. Swifty's
He's
got
over here like Swifty.
Swifty got yours out yet, dude? He's probably gone. Swifty's out smoking a blunt, making his right now too.
While he's on a couple of gummies.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, you got to figure they brought PJ Walker in to help DJ Moore and Dante Foreman get kind of acclimated to the system.
Right.
Somebody they know, and he has a similar skill set to Justin. That to ask him to be a starting quarterback, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I like what Doug's saying here.
You
I don't like
honestly don't want him as your starter, though. You want him as security, insurance.
Yeah.
Like Walt said, sits on the bench all season, God willing, watching the Bears win.
Well, that's what you hope for. But whenever you have a running quarterback, the chances of that happening is slim.
Yeah. The percentages definitely get higher.
Yeah.
That he's going to get injured.
I like what Doug's saying here, though. I don't like the idea of signing a QB who can injure himself for 2 seasons just by dropping back and setting his back leg. I agree. 100%. I thought to myself, when he blew out his knee on the Vikings, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
He's just dropping back for a pass and blows out his knee? Man.
What was the field? What field was that on, man? Where were they playing? I saw the game. I don't remember, though. I saw that play.
It was in practice.
Yeah, that's
for the Vikings.
What field were they on, though? Because they practice on like 3 different fields over there. I don't know.
Hey, Foster, it was Soldier Field. I'm just kidding.
Well, if it was Soldier Field with that turf on it,
Yeah,
that could have been anybody back in the day because that stuff sucked.
Hey, Shorty, you see what Bears he said?
Yeah, if he logs in, can he share a video on the podcast? How long is it? If it's like 8 minutes long, no. If it's like a minute or two, sure.
Food break.
People are talking about Badgent. I like the kid. I think he throws a nice ball.
Yeah.
If you can coach him up.
But he comes from a Division 3 or 2.
I just heard everything that what he's been throwing have like for deep have been like those loft, like real high lofty ones that can be picked off. That's the only thing bad I've heard from about him.
He says 2.5 minutes, Shorty. And what's up, Mark? Glad you can join us, man. Better late than never. So welcome.
Thanks for joining us, Mark. Yeah, hop in, Bearski. You can play it.
Hope you're feeling a little better this week, Mark. I hope that cough's going away, dude. He still has that cough from the 4th of July when he was in the hospital, man.
Yeah. I saw him talking about that somewhere else, too. It was still, it was on Greg Gabriel. It's pretty bad. Let's see here. Husky will be ready here in a second.
Screw him. Screw him and his videos.
He makes some pretty badass videos over there.
I've enjoyed him.
Anybody else watching Zach Wilson today?
I did not. There was some tweet shit about it, but I didn't really get it. I didn't look at anything this afternoon at all, dude. I didn't.
3 for 5, 65 yards.
While we're waiting for Polsky to get ready, I should probably remind everybody here that I had the meeting for PSF yesterday with oops, wrong one. With Sean Salisbury and a bunch of other content creators about this. So I'll know in a week here who I'm going to be paired up with to basically watch the games in a Manning cast style on PSF on this app. So guys, make sure you get over to PSF and check that out. There's a Bears fan section, and you can hop in there and hang out with me and whoever else. It could very well be a former player, and we'll be watching the game together separately, but on our own mobile devices. While you won't be able to see the game, but you'll like watch the game in real time with us while you're watching the game. So pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it.
It might be
yeah, and so I talked to Sean Salisbury, and he's going to be coming on the show eventually here sometime soon to kind of talk about PSF and then give us a little take on Justin Fields, his quarterback take. I know he was doing a lot of stuff for ESPN and just coming in and breaking down quarterback for our beloved. So pretty excited about that.
That's awesome, Shorty. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's quite an accomplishment, man. You've done all this in about a year, minus the time you were away. I mean,
something you always need to remember, Shorty, is you have something very unique. This is one of the few podcasts that are revolving around fans. You know what I'm saying? That's very unique. Just thought I'd point that out for you.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely, Brian, and thanks for saying it out loud, man.
Brian, you just touched my heart, man.
You don't have to cry for me, Argentina.
Man, I remember watching you in all those wrestling shows. Oh,
King Kong Bundy don't got nothing on me.
PJ, weren't you on some soap operas in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s? I saw you on something.
Okay, back to the regular schedule program there. I don't know what's wrong with him thinking I was on a soap opera when he's a movie star.
I should remind everybody, since people are talking about it in chat, the PSF app is available. So this is only a mobile thing, so you'd have to watch it on your mobile device. So you would go on to the PSF app. Currently, they're working on getting it up for Android, but it is working for Apple. So it should be ready for Android within a week or so. But we're going to probably be doing the preseason games too, just to kind of warm up to it. Again, I'll know a little bit more in a week, and then after that, it'll officially kick off once the season starts. So, yeah, just wanted to let you guys know if you're having a problem with it on your Android device, just try back again in like a few days and see if they have it updated so it's available to that format.
That's gonna. I can't wait to see the first show or be involved with it, man.
It's going to be interesting.
Absolutely.
Me sitting there with my phone, watching the game, and like Sean Salisbury was running the whole thing. He's like, I want you guys to be yourself. Just and actually he said the same thing. He said, this whole thing is made by fan for fan. I said, are you kidding me? That's like the name of my channel. Like, like that would be
Exactly.
so the object of this is to also bring people in from the chat room that's watching the game with us, just like we do here.
Like we do.
Mm-hmm. So it should be pretty easy for me to transition into that.
That's why they picked you, because they could have picked any podcast. There's how many Bears podcasts, man? How many? Hundreds. They're out there. I'm finding all this stuff all the time, man. It's like even how I ran into Tarbill and Bearski, these newer little channels, man. They're all over the place. They could have chose any one of them, but they took you because you're already doing what they're trying to do to an extent.
Yep.
It's like a mix of our show and the Manny Brothers thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm excited about this because like any of you guys can just come in the show too. So, and then the game that we're going to be at with Chris Watts, I'll be able to I can still come in during the commercials and broadcast show the fans and everybody in the stadium. So it's a pretty cool adventure. It's brand new. I mean, they're just getting this thing started. So this is like the launching of this. It's pretty cool.
Hey, Shorty, maybe you can like put like a banner or something up saying, if you have an Android and you find that it's working for it, so for everybody else, you know what I'm saying? So then they know, okay, because I have an Android, and,
I will. I'll let you guys as soon as I know, because my wife has an Android too, so I can check it with that.
Okay.
Are you there, Polsky? Polsky. Or maybe he just wants me to play the video.
You just put yes in the chat.
Oh, okay.
I am. Yes, I am.
Can't hear you, buddy. Maybe you want me to just play the video? I got you. He had to log in to give us the video. I get it.
Gotcha.
Jalen Hurts is rolling out with a purpose. He wants a long throw back across the field.
Well, Ngakoue will be coming from the top of the screen. This is his 5th sack on the season, and watch how he chops the ball loose.
Hurts has 111 yards through the air, 35 on the ground. First play of the third. Hurts is hit.
And Yannick Ngakoue, he beats Miles Sanders to the upfield side, knocks the ball free.
First down for the Chiefs. Mahomes dancing in trouble, and Ngakoue has a different kind of twitch and a different kind of quickness off the edge.
This is awesome, man. Thank you, Bearski.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Something you'll notice watching this, almost every snap, he's got the flute mentality already built into him. He's trying to swipe the ball. I don't know if you noticed this.
Absolutely. Yep. I was like, man, give me that 9 or 10 times every year.
He's trying to rip that ball out.
Yeah.
That's what Flute wants. That's why they got him.
And if you man, if our offensive line can play like the Colts line is playing on some of these plays, dude. Ooh.
First one is Yannick Ngakoue. He's having a great game going against Jordan Mailata.
Tell you what, guy is a beast coming off that edge.
Yep. You have to love what you're seeing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's going to greatly improve the line.
He can train 6 or 7, 8, 9 games a year. One of those plays in a key moment, the game can change the game.
Orlando Brown, the Pro Bowl left tackle.
He beat Orlando Brown.
At the top of your screen, looking at Ngakoue, gets double teamed.
Double teamed, and he still got Burrows. Yeah.
I love the music too, man. Good job, Bearsky.
Thanks, Bearsky.
Yes, Bearsky. Thank you very much, man. That was nice.
Thanks for getting right on that, dude. Much appreciated.
That was really nice.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Bearsky, if you have any clips of him playing against the run, I'd like to see those as well. No, I was actually being serious, though. I was being serious. I was really being serious.
There were some, PJ. You can go find them on the internet. That's what he's no.
I'm just saying. I mean, because we all talk about his pass rush. I want to see what he does against the run.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Good point. That was a nice hype video for the pass rush. Right? That was
really
awesome.
It
was
really good.
I'm already pumped, man, just from that video and what we've been talking about. That highlighted it.
Yeah. Check out Bearsky Film. He's got some good stuff. I love his music, like his soundtracks too, that he does for everything. It's freaking awesome. Just as good as all the editing.
What's the name of Bearsky's film thing?
What'd you say,
Bearsky
Pete?
Film.
What is it called?
It's Bearsky Film.
Oh, Bearsky Film. Okay.
Yeah.
Bearsky Film. Okay. Cool.
I'm pretty excited to see our new toy.
and what's next? Because he's still not done.
Right, yeah.
Even if he's not spending money, guys are going to be jockeyed as we go along continuously, I believe, till he gets the best possible scenario going into day one.
Next move will be trading for Chase Young.
There we go.
I'm going to go back to the bar room and just make a clip of you saying that, and we'll just put it on every week, right, to start like 5 times a week. We'll save the hassle of you having to say it.
I'm just saying. Because I'm telling you.
I don't have anything against Chase Young. I just want to see something out of him before I go making a purchase. That's it.
Like a healthy, productive season for the whole year?
That would be my want.
Well, I would say this. I mean, depends on what he looked like in a training camp in preseason games, but I wouldn't rule it out because Poles has a tendency to double down on the moves he makes. Whatever move it is, if it's an offensive tackle, he go gets 2. Offensive guard, he go gets 2. Cornerback, he go gets 2 or 3. Linebacker, he go gets 2. So I wouldn't be surprised he makes another move and get another defensive end.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I kind of have a question with regarding the Redskins because they got Chase Young's could be tagged or because they didn't pick up his 5th-year option.
He isn't getting tagged.
I'm just saying Montez Sweat. This is the last year of his contract.
Mm-hmm.
There's 1 or 2 other guys they got to sign, and they're not going to sign all 4 of these guys.
Hey, Foster.
So I think Washington's going to kind of ride it out and see what this season is, and then they can make their move if they're going to trade. Right before the trade deadline, they're going to make that move with whomever, or figure out who they're just going to keep and what they're going to do with the other guys. Whether they let them go, release them, or whatever. They're going to try and get something for anybody they're not going to keep.
Right.
Who is it going to actually
think
be?
about this, Foster. If they wanted to franchise tag Young, why wouldn't they have picked up his 5th year? That's my thing. Like, if you're gonna want to keep someone around, you're gonna try to keep him for the lesser amount, not the higher amount.
I'm going to answer that question for you. they didn't franchise tag him because he's the guy. It's like when I talk about some of the guys, he's the guy they're probably going to move away from. That's why they didn't franchise tag him. But if the guy stays healthy and has a great season, and one or two of these other guys or gets injured and is out, they still have options then.
Well, good luck with
I'm not
that.
even saying
You're spending a lot of money on your defense. You're spending a whole lot of money on your defense.
That's where Washington's going to have a big problem next year because they're not going to be able to pay all these guys to keep that defense together.
No.
You know, we've been talking. What do you say, Walter?
No, I agree with you 100%. They're only sitting about $80 million in cap going into next year.
Right. So I'm just they've given themselves more options, which is give me information and options, man. I can make a better decision for my team. I always say it.
Yeah. They drafted what's his name? KJ Henry out of Clemson.
Yeah. That's gonna free up to where they can let one of these guys go and not even have to worry about it. If he becomes, you know what? I mean, I don't know if you guys saw any film in him. He was one of the guys I said if he ends up on the Bears, I'm good with it. KJ Henry. There was two guys from Clemson. I can't remember the other guy's name.
It's probably Miles Murphy.
Yes, there you go.
That's why I wanted, honestly.
There's another one. There's three guys. There was another guy in that from them.
Breezy.
Because they were both
Breezy.
Yeah.
Okay. See?
We got better with Gervin Dexter in that pick.
I don't know if you
I got Wright and Gervin Dexter on my draft, both of them.
Hey, the thing with Chase Young is, too, I know a lot of people, like Brian said, he's worried about the injury history, but his timetable for what he hurt was correct. I mean, you can't just knock him for it. Yeah, he tore his ACL and whatever the other ligament was. But the time away from the game, plus you got to figure ramp-up time from practice, it's all on par.
You talking about Chase Young?
Yes.
Yep. Your guy.
Well, I mean, again, just speaking on even our wide receiver position, the fact that Poles is always doubling down. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised or rule it out that he would double down and grab another defensive end. And
I mean, you need two at least.
Hey.
One on each side. You can have Walker and Yannick play one side together, and then Chase Young and whoever else play the other.
Travis Gibson. Yep.
Congratulations on your new title, Foster.
I can't breathe to even talk because Jordan.
I've been pulling a rib over here for the last. Oh boy, you guys are fun.
Hey Walter, my main concern with Young is the fact that he injured the same, like it's not the same thing, but on the same area, and everything I've read and heard has been it's twice as hard to heal up when you haven't healed the first one and you hurt something else. That's the only real major concern I have with that.
Do you mean the patella ligament or whatever I think it was called with the ACL or the
yes, like he injured one, didn't get it fully recovered, and then injured the next one. So it makes it twice as hard to heal both of them. That's my only issue.
I mean,
he comes out, knocks it out of the park. Hey, go for it.
I mean, he did both at the same time. They probably were both hurt when he went for surgery. I mean, it's I wouldn't say it's $1 million injury or 1 in a million chance of happening, but it does. So, and he's not the first, he's not the last. Well, but then again, you could make the same thing as if someone just tore their ACL, they may never recover from that.
Right.
There's, look at Tyreek Cohen. Where is he now? Nowhere.
Yeah.
Cliff says Foster making women hit you with the rubber tongue for years.
I mean, if you watch some of his training camp videos leading up to the start of preseason, he looked good. He looked fast. He looked explosive. As far as I know, I think the brace came off, so he's not running with that anymore.
Well, I mean, I think it's a gamble. It is a gamble. So,
yeah.
But you have to look at it from Washington's perspective. Let's say, okay, if we keep him and he doesn't produce this year, we let him go in free agency, we get nothing. Or if we trade him while people really don't know about him, maybe we can get a third or a fourth for him. At least we're getting something. So that'll be their mentality, I would think.
No, they're going to try and trade him if they want to move on from him. They wouldn't let him walk away for nothing. I mean, they may have get a compensation pick out of it if they do, but that's about it.
Yeah. So, as I said, I mean,
like you said, it's a gamble. But then again, everything's a gamble. I can walk outside my house, step on a landmine.
Where you live at, Vietnam?
Not unless you're talking about a pilot bug check.
Either you live in Vietnam or you're living over there next to Foster.
Well, I'm not too far from Foster.
Chicago, Vietnam. You're probably safer in Vietnam these days.
Swifty says you better not be bringing any of those rubber dogs with you to Indy. You guys aren't sharing a hotel room, are you?
I think he's got one specially for you, Swifty.
Hey,
that I don't know about.
Hey, Swifty, if you got a minute,
I don't even know about it, Brian.
Why don't you tell Swifty to hop on if he got a minute? We can talk to him about Yannick real quick.
You want to come on and talk about Yannick, Swifty? I'll send you a link right now, buddy. All right, no, I have a third video to make.
Right.
Honestly, doing it's really not that bad for Americans in Vietnam right now.
Right, I agree.
They're traveling over there. It's supposed to be a great. You can go see the whole country cheap, man. From what I'm understanding.
Yeah, I got a buddy that lives over there. He's from country initially, so he does real estate out there for expats all the time, and it's really a nice country, and it's affordable.
Yeah, that's I'm hearing that. I got my cousin travels all over the place teaching English, Japan, Vietnam, a lot of China, Middle Eastern stuff or Asian, and he said it's a beautiful country, and you could live very well on a $400 or $500 a month. You can live like a king out there.
Yeah. It's funny, too. You walk outside the cities and you're taking boats down these muddy little rivers.
Yeah, yeah.
So does anyone have any, information as far as, what Chase Young is making this year?
Top of my head, I'm guessing 5-6 million, whatever the
I think it's more than that, but
whatever.
I mean, you could be right. You could be right.
I thought it was more too. I don't remember. They just had it when they were, because he was being interviewed by Kay Adams or somebody.
Yeah.
I just saw it the other day. I just don't remember. I want to say more like 9 or 11 million.
Yeah, I think it's close to that.
Because I'm going. Wow, his rookie contract. What a huge contract to be making that.
2 overall, right?
Yeah.
Number 2 overall. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was shocked at the dollar amount and the cap hit for the fourth season, man.
His cap number right now is 10.997.509.
Okay.
Ooh.
There you go. Answer,
Who
Brian.
you talking
about? Chase Young.
Wait, what did you say, Shorty?
Fucking talking about Chase.
There you go, Peach.
He took himself
Because
up.
Peach, you and I had talked, and we've had this conversation. I mess with you all the time about Chase Young.
Right.
But if the deal's right and he's healthy, I'm on board. I'm like Brian. I worry about the health issue.
Right.
What we would have to give up for him.
If he shows out, go for it. You know what I'm saying? If not, then I'm worried.
Yeah.
Two, you got to remember, we have 2 first-round picks. We could give up a second round
Yeah.
next year and replace it just as easily.
I got you. I got you all the way, Walt.
I just think personally, I don't know if I would give up a second. I mean, if we can talk third and maybe a player like what's that kid we got from Seattle? What's his name? The defensive end? Green. If I can give a Green and a third for him for 1 year, make that third a conditional. So I would go that route. I wouldn't want to give up a second. I mean, granted, I agree with you. Got a 2 firsts and a second, but I'm not quick to want to give up that second either.
Right.
The 2025 second from Carolina.
Can we make it a conditional?
Sure.
Polls will work that out. Polls will work that deal out to the best of his advantage, man.
Yeah, you have to figure if we go to the trade deadline and this guy
Fucking
balls
cliff.
out, we're going to be spending more to pick him up than now. The window is closing.
Or do you look at it from Washington's point of view? Wouldn't the window be closing for them to get compensation for him?
Yes and no, but if Chase Young does do good, they're going to make more in the deal than doing it right now. So they have every reason to sit on their hands and wait.
Yep. I agree. Raging Oracle. Get Houston. Rather have Houston than Chase. Chase wants to get paid. I'd rather them draft a defensive end than settle into a long-term contract at defensive end right now. We do got to pay Fields soon, man. We're going to have to come up with $55 million or more a year for Fields.
Yes, we are. I mean, all of us collectively are, yes.
What are you talking about? The guy sends me a note today after last week. It was $70 bucks. Now I got to send him $100 a month to be on this show.
That's not my fee either.
Yeah, I know. DJ just sent me an email too. He wants a percentage of that 100 plus another 100. I don't get you guys.
Yeah, I mean, Houston's a great player. I'm not taking that away from him, but Chase is 10 years younger than the guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the what if and then
upside,
roll the dice on Chase Young, then be like, maybe I'll get one good year out of Justin Houston. I can use him maybe the second year as a mentor, but
yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm with you, Walt. I like the upside of Chase, and to me, in the brief, what I saw from him in Ohio State and a little bit his rookie year, seemed like he's a total package. Being able to make tackles, rush the passer. I mean, seemed like he got everything going for him. Now, mind you, it's just the upside. Now, has he produced in the NFL so far? No.
yeah, I mean, he made the Pro Bowl and was Defensive Rookie of the Year. They don't just hand those away like they're candy.
Right.
So,
Going to
So I have a
the
question
machine, Walt.
I have a question for both PJ and Walter. I just want to understand what you guys are intending. Like, if you trade for, oh, geez, we were just talking about him.
Chase Young?
Yeah, Chase Young. Your thoughts are you're wanting to trade for him with the intent of re-signing him if he
Absolutely.
does something special. Is that I'm just trying to make sure I understand.
Absolutely.
Okay.
yeah, extension would be conditional to the deal. I would not make it otherwise.
Exactly.
I was just making sure I was understanding where you guys are coming from.
There would be no point in doing it just for a rental. You're signing him at least 3 years.
Yeah.
If not more. I mean, like I said, like I was telling BJ, I'd go high as a second round pick. I feel comfortable moving that. We're in a position now where we can trade capital away, and we're not hurting anymore like we were last season, even coming into this draft, where we needed every pick we can get our hands on.
Well, I think the other bonus thing is if you trade and sign him now, you can sign him lower.
Exactly.
He ain't gonna be able to get. You don't have to sign him for no $20 million per year. You probably can
if he hits the open market, you're looking north of $20 million, easy.
Yeah. So
Mo Grimm was asking if you trade for him, can you still tag him?
We can tag him, yes. If we traded for him, we can tag him next year.
Oh yeah. Fair question.
So
I don't know, guys. I don't like his injury history.
That is concerning. I'm not going to shy away from that. That is concerning.
Well, let me play devil's advocate. Are you a fan of Darnell Mooney?
Yes.
Okay. Darnell Mooney's injured the same ankle twice now. Not once, twice. So it's the same situation.
Just that one injury though was just, it wasn't a typical football injury from what I understand. It was very brutal in the surgery they had to do. So, and you looked at him at the end of the year, he was still hurt last year playing those games.
Hey, surgery's never fun. It's never easy. There's going to be,
I know that one.
Yeah, periods of time that you're going to be hurting, especially with when you deal anything with like knee surgery and things like that. It's not simple.
Right.
No one ever said it was simple or it was easy or anything like that. I think it's people jumping off the cliff You see it with Tevin Jenkins. He walks off with a trainer. Oh my God, the guy's gonna die. People here, take a chill pill. Step away from the ledge. Let's talk about this.
Well, I saw that, and I'm going, dude, they didn't cart the guy off. They were talking as they were walking off the field. The same with Sanborn the other day. You saw he got hurt too, right?
Yeah, I mean, his ankle probably isn't 100%. It's probably more like 95 to 97. It gets sore. He limps off the field.
It's just nothing like that.
What's up
surgery.
with Davis not being at practices? Nate Davis, what's up with him not being at practice?
I don't know.
I mean, here's another. Sorry.
I'm
Here's
just
another thing
curious
too
as
with
to
Tev.
what's going on with Nate Davis.
Oh,
I have no idea.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Don't know.
They're not talking about it. Sorry, what were you saying, Walter?
Let's say another thing that nobody really brings up is you guys remember, like, Tevin Jenkins' wife is now with child. Could it be possible that he has a very early appointment and had to leave and still got his aftercare done with the trainer? I mean, the two may not even mean injury.
Mm-hmm.
Good point, man. You don't know until they tell you. You just don't know.
I just
things
think,
happen every day.
Exactly.
I just think, I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but if I was the Bears, if I was truly interested in Chase Young, I would send a scout to their training camp, see him, watch him in practice, see how he does, watch him in a preseason game, at least one or two, then make a move for him.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually happening now as we speak, and not
Well,
just.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, I wouldn't just go in there blind saying, "Oh, let me just trade for him," without getting some type of look. This is how he's looking in tape.
Foles never has blinders on, dude. He's shown it.
Here's the argument that I can make for you on that, PJ, even though I'm against it, but your guys are making me think. If you really look at it, somebody said earlier in chat here that got me thinking this. Oh, Mo Bierman said, if you end up paying Justin, it's going to be a pieces and parts team going forward. So now is really the time to win it, to go after it. If this kid has got to take the step this season, if we get into year 4, he's going to want a new contract. Let's just say we go to the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to want the new contract before next season, correct?
But Fields got 2 more years because of his 5th year.
Right, but if he wanted to, let's say he had really good, let's say he throws 3,800 yards and 28 touchdowns and 12 interceptions and runs for 7.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 500 yards or more.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that possibly cause him to hold out and going into his 4th season for that contract instead of playing the 4th one out?
I don't see Fields as that kind of guy right off the bat.
Well, not only that, the fact that with first round rookies, they get a 5th. We can give them a 5th year. We give Fields his 5th year, which would be about $15 million or something like that. We don't have to pay him that $60 million that's coming up. We can give him that 5th year that'd be like $15 million. So that gives us 2 more years of him being pretty cheap.
Okay, so the window is this year or next year?
Yeah, because if he picks it up this year, we will not sign him to that 5th year because we have to sign him to the 5th year before his 4th year. We have to sign him to we're going to do it then.
Right.
I get it too, because if you sign Chase to like a 4-year contract, let's just say right now, I don't know what he's looking for. I don't even care. But in a year or 2, that contract's going to be underpaid anyway. So I could see that point where this is when you do it, because you're going to get. We know every year what it's going to keep going up. So the longer you can lock somebody in at a lower rate, look at DJ Moore's contract, man. What a value, that kind of stuff.
On top of that,
I got to interject one more thing, and then I'll shut up for a bit. Sorry to move that off, Raging Oracle. I just wanted to address Cliff because he stated that his shoulder was never 100% after surgery. Cliff, and all the time I've been talking to you, you've never been anywhere near 100%. Love you, dude.
On top of that whole talk with the contract, all that matters in the contract is the guarantees. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can say, oh, you can have eight 8 years. But if it's not guaranteed, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter diddly squat how many years you got on your contract.
But you also got to consider too. I mean, let me make this clear.
You do have to spread the money out.
I think that before, I mean, I'm not saying much. You and Walter are saying the same. We're not offering up no first rounders for Chase. That's not what we're looking at.
Right.
So to address, we're not giving up the farm. Yeah, you're right. I don't want to give up the farm and get him as much as I like him because of his injury history. No, I'm not trying to give up the farm, but I do like him for the right price. Let me be clear on that.
Well, that's key, and we know Poles. That's the key kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's got to get value for what he's doing because he knows what he's got to do down the road.
Well, I mean, to answer your question, Shorty, Walter, is willing to do a second. Like I said, I was thinking about a third or a fourth plus a player, but I can be talking to a second if it's moved down to like 2025, as long as it's conditional, something like that. I'm not trying to give up a first at all.
Yeah,
that's not what I'm.
We know Washington's going to want. They're going to want top dollar on it, man. So
I don't think so, because given the fact that he's going to walk next year, they want something.
You're right, but it's the game, and I think I was talking to somebody before on the phone about Trubisky and how the 49ers kind of pulled the wool over Ryan's eyes, man, Pace's eyes on that trading the second for the third. Like we do want this guy. We want Mitch Trubisky. It's kind of like I said. Even everybody keeps going, well, why did Philadelphia make that trade with the Bears and give an extra fourth to get Carter? Because Poles was going in there. I could take this guy right now, and we do need this guy. And I'm not saying this is what happened, but this does happen where they convince them that give me this and you can have him. That's usually how that deal goes. Because everyone's like, Philadelphia knew the Bears weren't going to take him. Why would you make that trade? Well, if you play the game right, that's what you get. Look at the Frisco with the trade they did with the Bears. I mean, that's what that was.
Well, I mean, you make them believe that somebody else want to move up and get it.
That too. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Who knows Philadelphia better than Cunningham?
Yeah. Well, they both got a lot of total inside information on that team. They both do. But Poles, I just love that dude, man. I was going to ask you to bring up even Mark Kazak's question too, Shorty. Starred.
Do you want to have his baby there, Foster?
Did I tell you guys about the time I won school chess tournament as a sixth grader? Learned that beating an eighth grader was not the smart thing to do. What did he do? Cliff beat your ass for the whole rest of the year? So he graduated? I've been on both ends of that one.
I'm right there with the PJ.
Hey, PJ, Foster's long past birth giving. He's past that age several times over.
He keeps regenerating, man. I'm telling you.
I've just had my 108th kid at 347.
Oh my goodness.
And I've only had 92 wives.
Man.
Not bad.
Neck and neck there.
I mean, we all know Foster's a perpetual.
Well, then you come up with the best ones. He just sits there, he bides his time, and then PJ, he must have read your book on that too. Sliding one in. The full volume.
I'm just saying. I'm good at sliding one in.
That was a great line.
Especially when you're hanging out with the guys.
That was a great one, man. I want to throw this up. I don't know if you saw it or we missed it, because I have freaking no idea, and this is the first time I'm even seeing anything about eliminating the quarterback salaries. So Mark Kazak says, I wonder if the next NFL bargaining agreement will change to eliminate the quarterback salary from the salary cap. Have you guys heard anything?
I've heard something about that.
Did you really?
I honestly have.
I don't think they would eliminate it, but maybe cap it to a certain percentage of the salary cap.
That sounds more like PJ always talks about.
Me and Walter on the same page. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Right there.
Because if you're going to eliminate the quarterback salary, you might as well just throw the salary cap out the window then.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they really go overboard then if it's not going to come against the cap. Yeah. no one player should count against more than 10% of the salary cap. I'm all in favor of that. I'm all over that because
that would end up like the baseball back in the day. The New York Yankees salary, $228 million. The Milwaukee Brewers salary, team salary, $17 million.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. I can't. I can't stand that. I mean, from a player's point of view, because I never played quarterback, so I'm like, okay, this one guy making all the salary, and now the rest of us only have to make $1 million or so. Not that $1 million's cheap, but according to that standard, it is.
Yeah,
because it's just become the next quarterback up. That's in free agency. That's the best of the group. Makes the most money. Jimmy Garoppolo, Kirk Cousins.
It's unfair to the other players. It's unfair to them.
Market, and then Aaron
Dude,
Rodgers.
I know you're great, and I want to give you $20 million, but I can't.
Yeah.
So you got to go to this other team, and then they want you, and then they got to shove all this money down the road. And 4 years from now, they're screwed because the way the salary cap's set up.
I agree.
I
agree. I think it's
who's
ridiculous.
going through it now? We were just talking about this too. Who's kind of fucked now? The Rams. There's 4 or 5 teams that are just going to be screwed during this season.
Cincinnati coming up with more.
There's another one that's up there. You got more on that, Walt?
Which part?
The teams that are going to be in trouble.
Joe Burrow's going to need to get paid, like you said. I mean, Justin Herbert, I don't know what he did to deserve that contract.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now I think
he's the next coming, and he's not.
He's a good player, but like you guys are saying, how is he deserving just because he's playing the position of quarterback? He is now up to make all this to be the highest paid player. Doesn't make sense.
Kirk Cousins' contract did that.
I mean, Justin Herbert is the Notre Dame of quarterbacks. He's just a can crusher.
Yeah.
Man.
I thought he was like going to be something special, and
I mean, I like him.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's bad.
He's gonna need to have a bunch of good talent around him again to be,
How is KC not fucked with that $500 million Mahomes contract?
I don't know. They're sucking the commissioner's dick. I don't know.
Possibly. I mean, Kansas City is a strange team. You have the Travis Kelce force field that no one can penetrate. Even though he's wide open, the guy's staring right at him. They just walk the other way.
Yeah.
You have Mahomes running around like he's got a load in his pants, and nobody can catch him somehow.
I know.
That's good. That's a good one, bro. That's a good one.
It's like he's wearing a diaper with a full load.
Exactly.
It's like, and he's in slow motion, but nobody can get to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, these quarterback contracts is outrageous, man. I can't stand it.
Well,
that's
you know what?
Really dislike
you know the main reason for their contracts, right? They're the ones that put the butts in the seat. They're the ones that make the money for their teams. Yes, they do. Quarterbacks, you can look at the teams that have the good quarterbacks. They're the ones that are making the money.
They're making the money from not only the stadiums being packed, but from all the NFL deals and the primetime games that they get and everything else. So they are definitely making more money because of that.
Well, I think, but the Bears has been sold out for how many years? And it hasn't been because of our quarterbacks.
Exactly.
It hasn't been because of our quarterbacks at all.
And it certainly ain't the venue.
Man. So, again,
it's the fandom.
I mean, I see what you're saying to a point, Brian, but no, it's not just the quarterbacks. And I think we need to escape that narrative because that's what's pushing this quarterback's salary because everyone want to push that same narrative when there's actually, I mean, other parts to that. You got 21 other starters who deserve much of the credit. I ain't saying the quarterback doesn't deserve any. They do a good job, but they don't deserve all that money. I'm sorry. They just don't.
I understand it, but the media makes it so that the quarterback is the most important person on the team. They run the completions, the incompletions, the touchdowns, the yardage. They blow that up to show you that that's more valuable than a tip pass or a block or that's the reason for why the quarterback is they're saying why the quarterback is the most important person on the team.
Yes, but you can also use your brain and see past that too. But that's asking a lot of some people.
Right.
So,
Well,
Like, if a team doesn't pay their QB, somebody else will, and like Kirk Cousins,
Well,
Jimmy Garoppolo.
I don't know why teams keep paying Cousins. I just don't see it.
Outside of
It's Minnesota, and he's probably done, man. Is this his last year, Walter? That contract? Do you know? Does anybody know?
I think it is. Yeah,
I think it is.
outside of
Sorry,
Patrick Mahomes and a couple of Tom Brady Super Bowls, it wasn't the quarterback who was the best player on those teams. You got your Aaron Donald for LA. You had these other players for these other. When Seattle won it, it was beast mode. It wasn't Russell Wilson. So when
That was
they
a
actually-
Legion of Boom more than it was beast mode.
well, the point I'm making though is
Yeah,
again,
I understand it.
yeah, it wasn't always the quarterback. So although they pushing that narrative, facts say different. I mean, there's very few where the quarterback we have this highest paid quarterback winning Super Bowls.
I mean, do you
I think
remember
Patrick Mahomes is one of the few.
the Tampa Bay Super Bowl in 2000, 2001? They had that Super Bowl MVP picture frame set up. They put the entire defense up there.
See, I mean, so yeah, I mean, I don't agree with that narrative. I just don't.
Well, I'm anxious to see because I mentioned this earlier in the show, and it was always you build that defense. The quarterback's a game manager, and I'm talking the first. You can't count the 20s, so 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s into the 80s. That's the way the league. That's how you won.
Even Baltimore won in the 2000s.
Right. Dilfer, man. Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, and this stuff goes in cycles.
Right.
There was a big thing the other day about the running back, and I saw a great video. I can't remember the player's name, and you guys probably know this. The UFDA on San Diego who took what's his name's place, changed the contracts forever because he did what, God, I can't remember the dude's name that was a big running back on the Chargers, man. Anyways.
LaDainian Tomlinson?
Yes, yes. The guy that replaced him was a UDFA making $650,000 a year, and he did more than enough at running back. That's where the running back contract, literally, if you track it from the year after he got that injury, that's when they stopped getting paid, that one contract. And the quarterback thing, too, is like the minute Kirk Cousins signed that contract, if you look, berserk every year. 50, got to be the top guy, 40 million, 30, 28 million, 32 million, 38 million, 45 million, 50 million, 55 or more for Fields.
Right.
100 million.
I'm just showing you.
I'm just saying for the guys in chat with Cliff and Swifty and Doug, I'm not saying the quarterback isn't important. I'm just saying they're not the only ones. I mean, I think you honestly can win a Super Bowl with a average quarterback as long as you got the other pieces. Now, if he stinks, he stinks. I mean, you ain't gonna win nothing there. But if you got other pieces, I think you can do okay. You don't need to have that. I mean, as good as Burrow is, he hasn't won a Super Bowl.
It's just harder to do it with a lesser quarterback these days. It is. Look at Tennessee with Tannehill for the last few years. Derrick Henry almost did it himself, man, without a quarterback. Think about it. Look at the numbers.
Yeah.
Another thing that's pushing the quarterback narrative is we're in a different era now. We're in the fantasy football era, and what's going to make fantasy football the most money is the quarterbacks pass, and that's what the NFL has been catering to.
Sports gambling,
getting more yards, getting more touchdowns, getting more penalties off of defense because the quarterback is like this priceless, invaluable piece to their team.
There are so many guys playing today that would have never survived the 60s or 70s. They would have never. They couldn't have played more than one or two seasons.
We have a quarterback that was getting mangled, couldn't get a flag, you know, and now, with the other ones are like little dainty little players that, I got a splinter flag. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it's done.
I'm trying to figure out who Pete Will is.
Pete Will. I agree. P. Will.
Look in the chat.
No, there's no one P. Will. Maybe he said, I agree. I don't know. I didn't get that either.
Throw us a knot on that, Mark. Exactly. We're missing something. Well, look who you're watching, dude.
Yeah. So, I mean,
that's what I said, Doug.
If Trent Dilfer can win a Super Bowl, anyone can win.
Anyone can win. PJ, you could have done it like last century, dude. As quarterback, I gotta go there, man.
I'm too short, man. I'm only 6 feet tall, man.
Back then, quarterbacks were in their 5'10s.
I don't care what everything shows. If you look at Fran Tarkington, the guy's six feet tall. He's listed as 6'2", 190. The guy was 6 feet tall, and he probably weighed 170 pounds soaking wet. One of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game.
Fran Tarkington was a quarterback I love to hate because that guy, I hated him, but I had to admit he was just.
I wanted him on the Bears for 10 freaking seasons. I'm like, man, if we had him and Peyton together, and James Scott, maybe one other receiver or a tight end, a real one, they could have done something with that team. Because the defenses were always pretty decent in the 70s.
I agree with you too, sir. You are the man, Mark.
Oh, Mark, you shouldn't even have told that you agree with PJ, just because now is the hat. Oh, he's still got the Bears one on. It's not swelling up or anything. We're okay. Never mind.
It hasn't turned red yet.
Hey, where's the stash of hats? And I was waiting to see him change shirts, go off camera, change shirts and hats to color coordinate through the night. Man, you know what, man?
Right. You don't have red shoes on, do you? So you can't wear that hat.
Right. We went through this. We did this. You know the rules, dude. Red hat, red shoes.
No, actually, it's when he has the little emblem that's red on his shirt. That's what matches the red hat.
The blue line matching the blue.
The blue line matches the blue shirt, bro.
There you go, man. He can't even get what we've already said 5 times to him.
The red hat matches the red polo signature on your shirt. Everything else is blue or black.
For our next video, we will be giving a tutorial on how to dress. It won't be the cooking show; it'll be how to dress.
I don't think we want to watch you dress, buddy.
Yeah, I can't even think of a thing for P except for Bears Country pornography.
No, you do. You guys want to see how I dress? I know you do. Like how I line
Viewer discretion advised. Is that what you're saying?
See what you did, Mark? Man, you gave him some encouragement.
How I match my things up there. You guys.
Crap! Here we go, man. Can we just close the show now?
No, I was waiting for Swifty to join us.
It's too late for Swifty to join us. This show is 3 hours and 2 minutes long.
And Dan's got to get up early and work late, dude.
Swifty, you disappointed me, bro.
It's okay. We got some good surprises coming up in the next few weeks. We won't even say anything about them. Well, I still have not gotten the date out for Party with Foster. So now I'm thinking we're going to set this up at one of 2 places where it's during a Bears game, if anybody would care to partake, man. And that will include your ride if you're within 10 miles of the place.
Say it again.
Party with Foster is probably now going to be in September on a Sunday during a Bears game with 20 freaking TVs and food and all that kind of stuff, man.
For
so
those
I
of
keep
you
forgetting
who
to
don't
mention this stuff as it's being worked out, the details.
Parental discretion is advised.
and there will be, if you're within 5 or 10 miles, we will even get you home if you're going to have a few drinks because we don't want anybody getting hurt.
Y'all see that paneling in the back of him? There's bodies back there.
Yeah, who said last week they were somebody said last week that they were stuck in my basement or some shit. And I meant to say, dude, you're okay. It's when I put you in the wall that it's over. My collection, man, behind me. I got a whole nother empty one right here.
PJ Foster will be driving everybody home. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones.
Dude, when did you see my 96 Acura with the 4 holes in the floor?
Yabba dabba doo.
And I gotta have a guy. I gotta definitely have a passenger because I ain't got no turn signals, dude. You gotta stick that arm out the window when I'm making the rights. I don't want to get pulled over with a bunch of drunks. I'm kidding.
Mark Kazak saying, what I'm trying to say is that the Bears have never had a quarterback like Justin Fields. We finally have a great quarterback. The defense doesn't have to be perfect. Yes.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Until
I've been waiting my whole life for something like this, dude.
Until
McMahon.
No, until we actually need to make a stop in the playoffs.
Swifty
in the hizzy.
PJ, are you gonna calm down, man? I can't have PJ being disappointed.
Swifty, my man. That's what I'm talking about. See, that's what I'm talking about right there.
I was trying to. I had to eat, man. I had ordered my food before Ryan Poles made that signing, and then I went live and I made a video, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot all about my food.
What you order?
Some cheeseburger spring rolls.
Oh,
dude, I had spring rolls tonight too, dude.
Yeah, they were good.
Not the cheeseburger, but chicken.
So, Swifty, what do you think about this Yannick thing, real quick?
I like it, man. I like it. I think best stat you can have. I sent it to Dan. I don't think he said it. There's only 5 players in NFL history that have 8+ sacks.
Exactly.
First, 8 seasons of their career. Aaron Donald, DeMarcus Ware, Derek Thomas, Reggie White, and Yannick Ngakoue. So
impressive.
He may not be good at stopping the run, but he's a guy who can get after quarterbacks, and that's what we need. Someone get after quarterbacks. He's gonna, if he's healthy, he's gonna get 8 to 10 sacks. I mean, that's just how it is. I wouldn't worry too much about his run defense because guess what? He's gonna be playing next to Andrew Billings. So, I mean, that's gonna help him out because Andrew Billings is like 2 dudes. So all he's got to do is be half of.
You free, Swifty.
Yeah, exactly. He's
so what do you think about PJ still clamoring for Chase?
I don't think we need him, honestly, but I mean, I love Chase Young. I mean, I hear how these guys. I mean, Dan, you guys, too many people worried about his health. I mean, he tore his ACL. It's an ACL injury. The reason why it affected 2 years is because he tore his ACL midway through the 2021 season. So he didn't come back until halfway through last season, and they wanted to be real careful with him. They've played it slow, but you look at him now, he doesn't have a knee brace on, and he looks like the same freak you saw at Ohio State, who could be one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. Now, I wouldn't give up a ton for him, but I would try. I would try. I mean, if they would take the Panthers' second-round pick in 2025, I would send that to him right now, like today.
You gotta explore every option, man.
Yeah.
Swifty, man, I'll let you have my baby, man.
But I don't think they're gonna. But the problem is, I don't think they're gonna trade him. They're stingy, man. They're gonna do just like they did with Deron Payne last year. They're gonna hope he plays really good this year, and if he does, they're gonna franchise tag him, and then maybe try to trade him next year in the off season. But
he'll be a free agent.
They can franchise tag him just like they did with Deron Payne.
Because he's a free agent.
But Sweat is up too, though.
Yep.
Yeah, and they could sign Sweat, franchise tag Chase Young. Or if I was them, I would sign Chase Young and franchise.
That's a lot of money.
Sweat,
they're not paying a quarterback.
I'll take
That's the thing.
I'll take Montez.
I think it all rolls on. They have a lot of belief in Sam Howell right now. I don't know if I'm a guy who believes in Sam Howell, but if that works out, then they got 4 more years of rookie contract, and they can pay that D line. But I don't know.
Enough with that.
I think Chase Young will probably end up somewhere else.
I was watching video of who were you just talking about, the quarterback from Washington?
Sam Howell.
Sam Howell, because I've been talking to a couple guys that got a podcast out there. Want to maybe have him on the show before that game. And I've been watching the video. They're not even high on this guy, and they got a show and they talk about this stuff 3-4 times a week, and they're putting out 3 or 4 content videos every day.
Wow.
And some of the footage, some looks good and some didn't look so good. So they highlighted one pass where he hit a guy in stride, and they highlighted it because it was like the greatest pass, and it was just I forgot, up over the middle, going to the right side across the middle, and he hit him in stride, but there wasn't even a defender around him, and they showed it like 6 times like it was the thing. I mean, it was a nice pass, and he hit him in stride, perfect. But where's the other? Where I want to see that 20 more times on different, not the same play over and over.
Right.
I'm not high on him either, Swifty. That's what I'm saying for sure. and I wanted to ask you, dude, what do you?
Wait, you're not high on who?
Howell.
Oh, Sam Howell. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
And then so if they tag him or they take Chase Young and he has that year, and that's the guy they do want, and Montez Sweat is the guy they end up leaving out, wouldn't you look into that option too?
I mean, we'll probably just draft a DE in the first round next year. I mean, we got 2 first-round picks, so.
Yeah.
That's why Yannick's a good fit. He's just 1 year, so.
Everybody says
Marvin Harrison Jr. and a defensive end.
And 2 defensive ends. We'll take another one in the second round, dude. We got picks.
Hey, Swifty, I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
So,
DLs this year.
So with your scenario of like signing Sweat and then franchising Young, don't you think that's like a lot of like ducks put in one basket to like try to see if you can trade Young off of the franchise? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing is they'll do it for just 1 year. I mean, the franchise tag's just 1 year.
Yeah, I
Since
get
they
that.
don't have to pay a quarterback, they could probably, if the NFL let them, which you can't, they could probably afford to franchise tag Sweat and Chase Young because they would have enough salary cap room. But the NFL doesn't let you franchise tag 2 guys. So
now on top of that, do you think with new ownership anything changes? You know what I'm saying? They have new ownership now.
It could,
not
but
Snyder anymore.
I think ultimately you want to leave that up to your GM. If you're handcuffing your GM on the guys they can sign, then your organization's not going to be very well run for very long. The thing with Chase Young is I think they just understand how talented he is, and I thought they were going to let, because of Chase Young and Montez Sweat, I thought they'd let Deron Payne walk this year. That was the guy that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
But since they wouldn't do that with Deron Payne, we don't really know what they're going to do with the other guys, but I don't expect them to just let one of them walk for free. They're going to try to get something. They're going to work out a deal with one of them, franchise tag the other, and then they can either keep him for a year, maybe franchise tag him 2 years and then let him walk would be probably their worst case scenario, but they could still do it and afford it as long as they don't have a huge quarterback that they're paying.
I think personally that they're going to try to groom that guy from Clemson to take one of their places and sign the other one.
Yeah, that's possible too.
What's that, KJ Henry or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why, I'm sorry. The reason why I asked you that, Swifty, is because like with the new ownership, are they gonna say, this franchise has been run like crap? Maybe we need to switch things up, and we need to get a new GM, and we need to start, getting our own personal like beliefs and a GM that we can back behind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, if no matter what kind of GM you have, you don't get better by letting the most talented players on your entire roster walk away for free.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
The problem with them is the only thing that would keep them from being able to pay Chase Young, or at least franchise tag him for a year or two, would be paying a quarterback. The salary cap has went up so much. Teams like the Chiefs, like Dan said it earlier, you can fit a $45 million contract into your salary cap and still pay most of your team.
Right.
So with them not having, and not only that, but Sam Howell wasn't even a first-round pick, so he's not even getting Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence money. He's getting third-round pick Velus Jones money. He's making $700,000 a season. If he can actually be the quarterback, then they could sign 3 Chase Youngs, honestly. So,
let me ask you this, Swifty.
Brock Purdy.
Well, you probably know more about how much money that they have to spend before they get
the Bears.
penalized. Yeah,
this almost puts them there. They're $5 million away now.
Okay, so would adding Justin Houston on a 1-year deal be something else that could be looking at?
They
double
could,
down on?
I don't. At this point, I think what I said about it is I think if you sign another guy like Justin Houston, you're cutting someone like Trevis Gibson or Rasheem Green or Terrell Lewis. So I don't know. Unless they're really not happy with them or DeMarcus Walker has a bigger injury that we don't know about.
And they've been playing Terrell Lewis at defensive end.
He's moving up.
Moving
up the depth
he's been
chart
getting
big
reps with
time.
the first team too.
Yep.
They have him listed as a linebacker, but
He's
he's
a
a DE in the system.
Yeah.
But
I wanted to jump into this a little bit, Swifty. I think we were talking about it on your show or before your show, because Doug Van Dorn brought this up. Because we're talking about Chase Young and all these guys, and then we keep saying, "Oh, the draft." Go back to that. Hold on a second, Shorty.
Sorry.
Question is, what does the 24 draft look like for edge rushers, defensive ends? This year's was pretty deep, but the Bears didn't see any value enough to pick. And I think, wasn't it you? We were talking. Somebody brought the question up, and I threw like 4 or 5 guys' names out there. There's guys that we can easily get. Start with Jared Verse
next year. The problem this year, the reason he didn't take an edge rusher is because they had a record amount taken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they all got snapped up before Chicago could get to the table.
Had to have a tackle.
If we had another pick between, and that's where it came down to his trade down when he traded down from 1 to 9 or 1 to 9. If he would have gotten a higher second round pick, but he wanted DJ Moore. If he would have got a higher second round pick, they're almost guaranteed we would have taken one of those edge rushers that went between 20 and 40 because there were like 6 of them. And a lot of those guys fit the Bears really well, like the Keon White, like the guy who was playing tonight, Will McDonald. A lot of those guys would have fit the Bears really well as a pass rusher. But once they were all gone, Poles goes value. He's not going to just reach and take the 12th best pass rusher when he can get the 2nd and 3rd best defensive tackle, you know.
I agree. I think the other thing working, and this is my last comment with Chase Young. I think with
today?
No, today. But I think with if Ron Rivera gets Kane, I don't see them emphasizing the defensive line next year when he's gone. I think if it's an offensive coach they bring in, they'll draft or want to concentrate more on the offensive line and not invest more in the defensive line.
Yeah, fuck Washington.
I think if they let him get to free agency, I think Poles would be interested because he's the definition of an athletic freak and he's young. But I don't know how likely that is.
The first thing they need to do in Washington is change the name to the Washington Natives. I've said that since I think that would be the perfect name for that team, dude. Sorry.
Perfect. Or they should have changed their name.
Left it the Redskins?
To the Red Buds. The potato.
Jared Verse, Jack Sawyer, Braylon Trice.
Yeah, they could have kept the name. They just changed the logo. I'm saying not the name. So they could have just kept Redskins, like Redskin Potato, then just put potatoes on their helmets.
My goodness.
I mean,
what were you saying, Shorty? Wait, say that again. What? What's going on, Swifty? We threw Dan out, dude. Screw him.
Oh, nice. Yeah, get Dan out of here. We'll take over the show.
I told him already. I forgot what he said. Oh, you said, because you even jumped in that too on the rubber thing, whatever. I told him it was okay for me to say, fuck you, Dan. Say that again?
I said whatever it was. I saw it on your name. I was like, don't be bringing that to Indy.
That's what it was, yeah.
I don't necessarily think that Poles and company didn't think that the edge or the defensive end was valuable position. It was just they weren't at a spot where they could get one, whereas this year they have a potential chance of getting two. If they play their cards right, you know.
And with our first round picks, you mean next year?
Well, one of the first round and maybe, the second round.
Yeah,
there's
exactly,
a really
yeah.
good chance.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we don't have a lot of holes on the roster, and when you have two
Right.
first round picks,
I think
we're definitely going to draft a defensive end next year.
Yeah.
I think I said.
At least-
I read
at least
somewhere
one.
that there's like 56 defensive ends that'll be available in the draft.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, and there's
56.
the top 5 to 10 are.
Yeah.
I like
Mark-
a lot.
Mark Kazak's asking what we think about DeAnthony Jones, an UDFA from Houston.
He had a really big day. I don't remember what day of practice
Yesterday.
that was. I had him on the thumbnail of one of my videos because he had 3 sacks one day. He had a really good day. He looked dominant, but he's
Tuesday.
been up and down a bit. Was it Tuesday?
I think
Might
so.
have been, yeah.
I saw that. I saw your
Foster
shit.
knows what's up.
No, I don't. Don't be spreading that kind of shit around.
Just
dude.
throwing guesses out there, hoping he's right.
Yeah, I'd be
he's
keeping
been
up
up
with
and
your,
down though. I mean,
I'll
there's
be
only
keeping
been
up with
2.
the videos there for Swifty, so I know.
I love PJC. There's only been 2 padded practices, so I mean, we'll see in preseason. That's when we're really gonna tell.
Okay.
So, what have you been most impressed with from what you heard and seen from training camp?
1 and 2 and Chase Claypool.
Okay.
Chase Claypool's looked like a freak out there, man. I mean, everything that I was hoping for, he's looked like and more so far. I mean, he's a physical specimen out there. He's bigger and faster than anyone on the defense except maybe Tremaine Edmonds, who's also just a freak. But I mean, that's the thing. There's freaks all over the place now. When you just look at the guys out there that are athletic freaks, you got Justin Fields, you got Chase Claypool on offense. On defense, you got Javon Dexter, Tremaine Edmonds, Jaquan Brisker, these guys that are just absolute freaks. And almost everyone on the team has an RAS score over 8. They're all athletic, but you got a few of them that are just freaks that are going to stand out against other teams too. When you see Javon Dexter going up against the Packers offensive line, he's still going to look like a monster. When you see Tremaine Edmonds over the middle of the field, he's gonna look huge. You're like, that guy's bigger than every wide receiver on the other team. He's huge.
You ain't joking.
That's good to hear, man.
Are you going to the Indy game, Swifty?
I'm gonna be there for the practices. I was talking to Foster. I said I don't know because there's a day in between.
Right.
He told me you were gonna be at the game, so I said I would think about it. Maybe I'll see what PJ's doing. We can meet up for the game, but then I'll have to stay in Indy for an extra day. So right now I'm not planning on it, but we'll see as we get closer. I might end up getting a ticket and going.
Okay.
We were looking at price tickets too, Pete.
Yeah, but hey, look. Preseason games are normally cheap. When I go to Bears preseason games, usually the tickets are like $20. I was looking. Foster told me where you set. We're not setting up there with you, PJ. So those indie tickets, we looked at. I was like, bro, these are regular season prices. I've never seen that in Chicago. I've been to a few. I don't make it a habit to go to preseason games, but those Colts tickets are up there. I was like,
yeah,
the regular season prices.
Yeah. I mean,
they are. They don't give you a discount on those tickets.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, on Ticketmaster, I'm saying the prices for preseason games are usually really cheap.
Oh, yeah.
And PJ, if we do go,
I'm selling them for much more.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson hype probably their whole fan base. They just took a quarterback, so
you'll know where we're sitting because I got 3 paper towel things glued together and a couple rolls of toilet paper for the spitballs on you, man.
I'm just saying, if you guys show up, man, you got my number. Give me a call. Let me know. I can come holler at you guys for a minute. But about that training camp. What time is the training camps? Is that in the evening?
Wednesday and Thursday night.
Nights, okay.
I think it's 5 p.m.
Yeah, see, I didn't know the time, Paige.
Okay. 5 p.m.
5
told you
p.m.
the time,
5 p.m.
Foster. See, he
Eastern.
forgot.
5
See,
p.m.
Foster doesn't
Eastern.
remember. Yeah,
5
5
p.m.
p.m.
You've had too many times, Swifty.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
You know, if I get a chance to break away on Wednesday, I try to make that Wednesday one.
Okay.
Hey,
You got
Swift,
an extra ticket?
Oh, I only got one right now. I can try to get another.
All right. Cool.
Damn, I would love to do that.
Just give us a buzz, Peach. Give me a call and fucking whatever. If it works out, it works out, man.
Yeah, I hate that system that all these teams going with getting these tickets now.
I
I'm
know.
used to that Bourbon A where you just
No, it's like that's why I
Bourbon A.
totally dropped the ball on that because I was expecting just to get tickets, and then I realized, oh, it's at Lake or at House Hall now.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
Yeah, they sold out in 5 minutes too.
Easily.
Did they? Wow.
Yeah.
They gave out in 5 minutes.
The training camp ones, yeah, the Bears ones.
Man.
I got the email and it was like 8 minutes after, and it was like sold out. Check back in an hour, and I was like, oh.
Damn.
I was like, that's a first.
Right.
Watch.
Like,
Watch.
what?
Watch.
I need to stop hyping this team up. No, I'm just kidding.
Paul actually got an email on a Sunday from them because he couldn't get tickets. He tried the first day, and somehow he was able to get 2 tickets.
Yeah, if download if you're looking for tickets still, you could probably get some. Download the Chicago Bears app on your phone and turn on the notifications. Probably once or twice a week they send out a notification to say, hey, tickets are up for grab for tomorrow's practice. And you got to click it, and those will also sell out in 5. I mean, they're free. You just got to click it and claim it, but they'll sell out in 5 to 10 minutes every time. So you got to see the notification on your phone. I've just happened to have seen it a couple times, and like right there, and I'm like, oh, hey.
Yeah, if I do a training camp, I would want to do that Wednesday only at in Indy with the joint practices. That's the only one I would want to see.
The Indy one you might still be able to get tickets, Indy. Let me look at that. I can look into it for you, PJ.
Okay.
It wasn't as bad as the Bears. Like, I was emailed and I just signed up for it, and they emailed me 2 tickets, and I was like,
cool.
We could just make
Hey,
roster
Swifty.
set outside Wednesday. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, bro? We'll sneak him in the back.
Take both my phones and leave me out of the building, man.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, man.
Just tell him you're just trying to get him in with. Just tell him you're trying to do something good for a homeless person.
And they'll believe it if you're with me.
Oh my goodness.
We're trying to help this old guy out, man.
Yeah. So anybody on the defense though, Swifty, besides the on the defensive line, I should say, that's really impressing you?
On the defensive line, DeMarcus Walker, I mean, he's looked like a monster. Javon Dexter is everything I hoped he'd be. Terrell Lewis, I mean, can't believe it, but he's been doing it. He's showing that athletic freak he is, man. If obviously
Terrell Lewis,
they weren't not enough to where the team didn't want to sign Yannick, but I still think Lewis can be a guy off the edge as a third down pass rusher. So having Yannick and him, I mean, on third downs now, you can even move DeMarcus Walker inside. DeMarcus Walker, your 3 guys coming from the middle are going to be a rotation of Walker, Pickens, and Javon Dexter, and then your edges would be Yannick with either Terrell Lewis or Dominique Robinson on the other side. That's going to look good. I mean, on third downs, they're going to get after quarterbacks.
So Travis hasn't done nothing for you, huh?
that's what I was just going to bring
I've been
up.
disappointed. He's had a good day or two,
Okay. That's
but
what
he's
Lester
also
saw.
a lot of times been running with the second team behind Rasheem Green. So, I mean, I would expect him to make more plays than the second team, and he hasn't. So, I mean, honestly, it's kind of disappointing. But I haven't given up on him or anything. He's still got talent, but
yeah. Well, you know,
sorry, go ahead.
You know, I'm a big Bears homer. That's why I'm really interested in Travis as well as Dominique. So.
Oh yeah, I still think D-Rob. I think D-Rob's gonna have a better year. I just don't know. It might take him another full season in the NFL before he's really comfortable as a defensive end, because he still only played the position 4 years. He admitted he had some kind of interview. It's like a 40-minute interview.
We were talking about it.
Oh, you guys listened to it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you heard that he didn't even have a pass rush plan last year or any of that. So I mean, there's a lot of things he's still learning the position, but he has all the talent to be a really good pass rusher.
He also said the last 3 or 4 games that he finally had made some adjustments to his game.
Well, he went. There was another. He talked about that at another point too, where he went to the coaching staff after it was either the Eagles game or the Bills, and he went to the D-line coach and was like, "What am I doing wrong? Like, can you help me?" And like, they spent extra time with him. And the last 3 games, he had 4 pressures, so, and he only had like 8 on the year, so he was definitely picking it up at the end there, playing better than he was.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Robinson and Lewis are going to be the guys.
Well, Yannick's definitely in there now.
I know that, but I mean,
on the other side
of the season
across
shakes
from,
out, those are going to be the guys. Ngakoue, he's got to be included, man. But you could have all 3 of them on the field at the same time. If you
Question for you, Swifty.
Yes, sir.
So what is your personal feeling as far as like midway to the end of the season? Who are you re-signing? Are you re-signing Claypool and Mooney? Only Claypool? What's your thought on it?
I'd probably try to re-sign Claypool, Mooney, and JJ, but
okay.
If you can get him at the right price, like obviously one of them's probably gonna, if you try that strategy, one of them's probably gonna want more than you want to pay, and you're gonna end up re-signing 2. Who that's gonna be, I don't know. I'm scared.
Yeah, I
it's
didn't
gonna
know
be
if it was an
Claypool.
either or,
After hearing JJ talk, because I used to think it was going to be JJ that was going to want the most money, but now I'm scared it's going to be Claypool because I'm a big Claypool fan, but I also feel that Poles would be most motivated to re-sign Claypool because that's the guy he traded for. Mooney and JJ are both Ryan Pace guys, but I feel like Mooney is the guy most likely to take the team-friendly deal. So it's like it's tough. It's like Mooney could take the team-friendly deal. Chase is the guy Poles wants to sign. JJ plays the position that they really value, and I think he's going to have a big year, and he sounds like he would take a friendly deal. So I see a world where he re-signs all 3. We have a ton of cap space. Instead of going out and spending in stupid in free agency next year, re-sign all 3 of those guys to... If you can get them to sign value deals like Komet did, man, lock them all up.
Yeah. If you can't, I would actually see Mooney being the odd man out, especially if Scott progresses the way he's looking already.
Yep, I kind of feel that way too. Like, and I hate to say it because Mooney's the guy that
I know.
I feel like wants to be here the most, maybe, and wants to continue building his chemistry with Justin Fields. So. If it gets to that, like say he signs Claypool and he signs JJ, like does Mooney at that point, does he get pissed off and want to leave, or does he go to Poles and say, look, how much are you going to give me? I want to stay here. I want to be with Justin. It's hard to imagine him doing that. Most guys are going to go with the money, and it would be cool if Mooney did that. But yeah, if we sign Claypool and JJ, Mooney's probably going to be tired of this. You heard him say it in his interviews this year. He's tired of disrespect. Maybe he's talking about Poles. Maybe he wasn't offered a contract extension this year like he thought he was, and he's tired of not being thought of as a number 1 guy. And maybe he'll go to free agency. So I do think that's a chance if someone's gone, like Jay Sanders is saying here. I think Mooney's the guy that could be, unless JJ has a bad year, like he's probably gone then.
But with you saying that though, I could see a situation where Claypool runs himself out of Chicago as well, with like wanting like a contract more than what Poles values his position at as well, though.
I can see that too.
On the year he has, I guess.
On the what? Say it again.
On the season that he has.
Season's going to answer a lot of questions.
If he has 800 yards and 5 touchdowns, like on the year or something, like a good year, but not incredible, and Poles is like, all right, I want to re-sign you, but he wants like more money than DJ Moore is getting paid. Right. Like that's what you're saying. Yeah, I could maybe see that, and they're like, you know what, Mooney's going to take half as much.
Right.
So, but I see him wanting. I see Poles really wanting to get that extension with Claypool done, especially if he has a good year. Like if he has
Yeah, I
a horrible
understand
year,
that.
maybe not. But if he has if he's at least as good as Mooney or they're close in production, he's gonna want to re-sign Claypool more than Mooney.
Yeah, I get that. I understand that.
Now, Swifty, did you ever hear?
Factors.
Did you ever hear during your connections how much the polls ever offer Montgomery?
I heard it was like,
5'8".
what did he get? 3 years, 18?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe 3 years, 15 or something like that. It was like $1 million a year less or $3 million total. I don't know if it was how it was structured. Obviously, we don't know anything like that, but
Right.
I heard it was just a couple million less. Like,
oh, that hurts. That hurts.
I thought it was also something to do with like the guaranteed as well.
yeah, the guaranteed was probably different. I mean, when you're getting 8, I think he got. I don't remember what he got guaranteed out of that, 10 or 12, but he was probably less. Like that's the guaranteed money is always what they want. So
right.
I got a question for you, Swifty. Now, I'm on the opinion that Velus Jones is going to advance both with the offense and at punt returning. But I heard something that he was yelling and kind of causing a ruckus the other day, and I haven't really checked into it today. I'm just wondering if any of you guys heard anything about this.
yeah, he threw some punches.
Yeah, it was throwing fists. Yep.
So it's out there on video. I can find it easy.
I know it was a scuffle.
Okay.
Him and
Like it was on the far side of the field. I know
Brisker,
Jaquan
right?
Brisker was there, and
Yep.
one of the corners. I'm trying to remember.
Brisker hit
Yeah,
him on an
'cause-
incomplete pass or something like that.
Well, he got popped really good from Brisker, and Brisker was celebrating.
Yeah, Brisker was like dancing over there.
Yep.
There was a scuffle, and the people on that side said they saw him throw 2 punches. And multiple people said it. Like you couldn't see it from like the video where I've seen, but you could see the scuffle and people were over there pushing each other around. But multiple people said they saw Velus throw punches, but it was broken up. It's not like anything big
Right.
after that. Like
Yeah, I was trying to get a little more, wondering if it's something that is a positive for him because he's standing up for himself, saying, "Hey, man, I'm your freaking teammate." You know what I mean? And then, or if it's something negative to where there's
he
a
was
big
just showing a little fire.
overreaction.
It was that same day that everybody was the defense won the day. They were loud.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
chirping. So it's just a little
Yeah.
frustration. I mean, you see
Okay.
that in the NFL. Honestly, it's probably good to see from Velus. You don't.
Yep.
If he punches someone in a game, it's going to be
Yeah.
awful. But
Yeah.
if you just do that one
Yeah.
time in training
Yeah.
camp, I mean, how many dudes did Olin punch in training camp? I mean,
Right.
go to Platteville every year.
yeah, you don't
10
mind
times
some-
10 times a camp.
you don't mind the feistiness in training camp, but you
And
don't want to see
sometimes it
him
wasn't even on a
losing
field.
control.
Yeah. Guys, I wanted to show you this. Did you guys see this awesome meme?
All garbage.
Yeah, I saw it immediately. Yeah. I think I clicked on it like 4 times to just read the comments and shit because I made a comment on that, dude.
That's pretty good.
That's great.
Waste management.
They got the right colors.
Hangover, piss yellow, and booger green. Well, guys, it's going on 4
James Ford said that
we need to
Montgomery.
wrap this up here.
James
All right, I
Ford-
love you guys.
Holy
Yep, I just
crap.
wanted to come on and say what's up to everyone. What's up, Walter? What's good?
What's going
bro?
on, Swift?
Good to see you, my
Montgomery
man.
got 11 million guaranteed.
11 million? Yeah, we
Yeah.
were probably trying to give him like 8.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys.
No.
Much love to everybody.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, we appreciate you.
I couldn't have
Thank you.
TJ being upset, man. Okay.
I appreciate you, Swifty, man.
Yo,
You know,
bear down, guys. Yep, much love.
Thanks, Swifty.
I'll talk to you soon, Swifty.
Yep, yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's forgetting to end with a "fuck you, shorty."
Yeah, that's why I did it earlier. I even said he okayed it.
Well, guys, let's give a warm goodbye to everyone in chat here. Doug Van Dorn, Cliff Victoria, James Ford,
Mr. Mayhem,
Mark Kazak, yes, Mr. Mayhem, Mo Bierman,
Raging Oracle,
Raging Oracle.
man. Leo Factor 1 with the news about Yannick.
Yep. Thank you, Leo. That was
Oh man, I got
awesome. Who else do we have in here? Retro is in here. Retro, thank you for your super chat. Appreciate you. Bearski. All you guys for joining the show. Thank you guys for Walter and Brian. Thanks for coming on and talking with Lester. That's kind of what I would like to do is if we have someone who's a bigger name guest that's on the show, I'd like to have, one or two of you guys come on and be able to ask the questions yourself to that person. So thank you guys for coming on to do that. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, everyone in the chat, all our guests. Swifty, thanks for coming on, joining us. Thank you for Lester for hopping on and letting us talk to you. Appreciate you, man.
Very much so, man. Thank you, Lester, for coming on tonight. That was kick-ass. We've got some cool things coming up here on BCP with some guests that we're going to be having on. I'm just trying to line them all up. I know next week for sure is Nick from Jay, Just Another Year.
Yeah.
He will be a guest that'll be on next week. And maybe one other guest. I'm just trying to figure that out. But it should be cool.
STC in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank Lester for coming on, man. That was a great show, great conversation. The guy's awesome. I'm just wondering what he ate after he got off the show.
Hot dogs.
Thanks, Lester. Thank everybody, man. Brian, Walt, all you guys. The chat. Come on, you guys are awesome, dude. Yeah. Awesome. I love this. I love it when it's like this. That's why I went from being tired. I didn't want to do a show, and now what did I do, man? I'm sitting there for 4 hours with you guys. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, I told my wife it would be an early show.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
It is. It's not tomorrow yet.
She goes, sure.
If we go 19 more minutes, PJ gets to start asking questions again because he said this was my last question of the day.
One more question.
It's already after 12 where he's at.
1
It's
o'clock.
already tomorrow by you, Dan.
Yeah.
So that's what counts.
Yeah.
Mr. Shorty, I got 2 more questions for you. Section A, Part B.
Grotto McGrill. I'm sorry.
Yes, Water Miguel. Thank you.
I just want to recognize everyone in the chat. Thank you, guys. Without you, this show is impossible. So I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you guys as well. PJ and Foster, thank you for making this so much fun.
Thank you, Shorty. Thank you, Foster. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Walt. I truly appreciate you. Thank you, Walt. I appreciate the conversation there. You and I are aligned in a lot of things. Brian, I appreciate your questions. I like your challenging questions. That's much appreciated, man.
And if you're listening to this on audio stream, take a look at the video stream on YouTube and give us a like, give us a subscribe, set your notifications, tell everyone you know.
Indeed.
Peach, did I tell you that it takes many years to be a great suck up? And you ain't reached that year yet.
Bro, I don't know how to suck.
All right, guys, we will see you next Thursday. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Bears.
Bears.